three cinephiles have come together to bring you strong opinions, controversial statements, epic battles, and plenty of fun. Introducing our host, the man who watches 52 movies a week, drinks 52 beers a movie, loves women but hates the woman, from the foreign land of Canada, our host, Moodz 616. He is widely known as the man who talks too much. His worst enemies are Postmaster P and Pee Wee Herman. He said Hellraiser was overrated and Leprechaun Origins wouldn't suck. He's the full-blooded half-Mexican, JP. Finally, we have the man who doesn't talk enough. He is best friends with Sean S. Cunningham. His favorite horror movie is Gummo. He is your favorite Jew and mine, Jeremy. Together they are known for extending a helping hand to vampircons everywhere. They are the 22 shots of Moodz and horror.
Oh yeah, it is going down right here, right now. Episode 27 of the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror. Of course, I am your host, Moodz 616, and I've always got my hetero life mates with me. NES Ruler 22, and of course, we got the homeboy Double Shot Jay. What's up, homies?
What's going on, everyone? What's going on?
Oh yeah. So, how was everyone's weeks?
Well, yesterday was a weird day.
Yeah.
You know, came home to do the podcast. I guess we can mention it. We recorded about a half hour to show. We had some technical difficulties, so we decided to...
I wouldn't so much say we had technical difficulties. It was all on my end.
Yeah, but at least it wasn't like a 3-hour episode like My Bloody Valentine. That's lost.
Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, we lost like a full episode almost. It had probably a one of our best discussions. It was about Charlie Band and Full Moon, and it's just lost in the space and time of Internet land.
That is so disappointing. That was a good conversation.
It still hurts.
Yeah, it does. It definitely hurts. Yeah, but you know, at least with yesterday, like we knew right from the start going into it that I was having internet issues and stuff. So we just decided to call it quits after half an hour and fuck it, we'll do it tonight. Yep. But you know, so it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't that hard of a blow, but
yeah, you know, it was basically the news segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what it was. So yeah, so you guys get up to anything exciting this weekend?
Hell no. I don't do anything on the weekend except for work.
Not really. I had a pretty epic hunting trip on Friday, like we talked about yesterday. Like, it's probably the best. Yeah, it was the best trip of the year for sure. Found a copy of Fright Night 2 for $6. Found a Criterion Blu-ray for $1, which was pretty awesome. And I picked up...
That's just unbelievable.
And I picked up 4 Blu-rays and 6 DVDs for $11 of Family Video, which was awesome.
You know, that Fright Night 2 score is just an amazing score. Mm-hmm. It's definitely up there with some of the best scores I've ever heard of.
What was your best score ever, Moodz?
Oh, yeah. We never talked about that.
I don't know. Did I tell you guys?
No, I'm just curious.
Like,
I don't know.
You get that feeling, like I've gotten that feeling like 3 times now when you're like, oh, shit, this is awesome. And then you're like, can't believe it, I found this. Like, you get like your heart drops because you're so excited that you found something for like a steal.
I honestly can't really pinpoint what the best one is, but I always remember one in particular. It was an Anchor Bay lenticular covered of Bad Taste, that limited edition one, that I came across for like $3.
What about the Sleeping Corpses Lies tin for $5 that we got on eBay?
Oh yeah. That was an amazing deal. Yeah, that one usually went for what, $30-$40?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, and that was a total steal because it was actually an auction that no one bid on.
Yep.
Surprisingly, and got it for $5. Now that was a score and a half. Yeah. That's actually a really good question for like a top 5.
Oh yeah.
Like, what are your top 5 all-time best scores?
Well, I could tell you a few of like mine. Mine aren't really like scores. They're just kind of like I ended up getting stuff for like cheaper than I guess they were kind of scores. They're not like out of print scores like Jeremy has though. I remember getting Dogs on DVD before it was re-released by whoever did the Blu-ray, Scorpion. Dogs on DVD and Maximum Overdrive for around $3 each from Walmart.com. That was kind of cool. And then another time I had the Halloween digibook when they first came out with it, you know, when it first was released.
Yeah.
I was at Walmart and they rung it up and it didn't it rang it up like twice or it didn't even ring up or something. I just walked out with it and got it for free. And then actually this past week, what the hell are they called? TCM, Turner Classic Movies, shop.com. They had a sale, or not a sale, they had a pricing error. They had the Halloween box set for like $25 and everybody and their mother was ordering them and they caught on and was like, oh shit, we gotta hurry up and cancel all these. But they also had a bunch of other things that were pricing errors, and they had From Dusk Till Dawn Season 1 on Blu-ray, and I ordered the Halloween set and From Dusk Till Dawn Season 1 Blu-ray, and they canceled my order, refunded me money, but my From Dusk Till Dawn Blu-ray still showed up in the mail. So originally I paid $15 for it, and then I ended up paying nothing for it and got it. So that's a pretty good score, right? It's like $37 on Amazon right now.
And Moodz, you got the Chucky set for free. You got two Chucky sets for the price of one.
That's right. And actually, JP's story just reminded me of a story that happened when I made an order to import CDs, I believe, a year and a half ago or something. And they're really good. Like, they usually, ship out my stuff within a day or two. But this particular order, it never said that it shipped. And I kept waiting and it just never shipped. And so I emailed them, like, what's up with this? And they never responded to me. So I emailed again and no response. I'm like, what the hell's going on with this? Like, I fucking, paid for this order and stuff. But I looked at my Visa receipt or, my Visa account, and the money never came out of my account. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck happened here, right? So I just chalked it up as a complete waste of time or whatever. I made this order. They're not going to ship it. Put it out of my mind. A couple weeks later, I'm checking the mail. I get this box from import, and I'm like, did I make another order? I couldn't even fucking remember because you know me. And I opened up the box, and it was the order I'd made. And I believe it had 5 Blu-rays and 3 Scorpion DVDs in it that I actually got for free. They never did charge me for it. Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah, I get. I've had shit where me. I'm the best at fucking bitching at customer service and getting shit for nothing. So I've had my experience when shit gets lost in the mail and then it shows up 3 days later, and then especially with Amazon. Amazon's good. Like, if something doesn't show up within 4 days, and you just go on their live chat, they usually just refund you or send you another one, and UPS will probably deliver it sooner or later. But I've gotten some stuff for nothing, even though that's kind of wrong. But
well, that's
it's their mistake, right?
Yeah,
it's not something that you're doing.
I pay for Prime. It should be here in 2 days. It shouldn't take 5 days.
Yeah, don't you hate? That's the worst.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so irritating, man. That happens to me actually quite a bit. If I'll notice, in my Amazon account, if it ships from back east in Ontario, I know it's not going to be here in 2 days. Mm-hmm. Every time, man. It always takes 3 or 4 days. So
I've asked you this before. Who delivers Prime in Canada? Does UPS do it?
Yeah, it's UPS, but sometimes it comes through the Canadian Post too. So it goes if it's going through Canada Post, it'll go into my mailbox. I have a mailbox at the end of the street kind of deal. And UPS actually delivers it right to my door. And if I'm not home, then they'll put it in my mailbox that's attached to my house.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of weird like that, but yeah, I actually recently used that live chat with Amazon, and that really does work. So if anyone's
it works every time.
If anyone's ever thought about it or whatever, it actually does help, and they're on there and they're answering every question as quick as they can. Because I got on there about the battery Blu-ray, because we all know we were supposed to do this main review last week, and so I asked them, I was like, what the hell's up with this? I had this thing pre-ordered, mine never shipped. What's going on? And they simply said that Screen Factory did not send enough copies. They just didn't have enough. They actually sold out of them. So the pre-orders were obviously sent out in sequence or whatever. And I was like, that's crazy.
And they didn't give you anything?
They rush shipped it. Some Prime account, they shipped it overnight. The day it shipped, I got it the next morning. Yeah. So it was just a 1 day, an overnight.
I would have got it for you for free, man.
I know. I even said, I was like, "Hey, you gonna refund the money?" She's like, "No, we'll just give you a 1 day." I'm like, "Oh, come on."
I mean, I really hope that they figure out a way to get more copies, because, I mean, like I said, we want to cover all of the contemporary Scream Factory films on the show, so we'd like to do them as close to the day that they come out as possible. And if you're not getting them till 3 weeks after they come out, or 2 weeks after they come out or whatever, that's annoying. Damn it.
It's been this summer though. Like there's been a few titles, and it's mostly been Scream Factory titles that have been just not shipping, and I usually have them pre-ordered. So I'm hoping that, because I pre-ordered The Squad recently, and I believe that's another one that we're eventually going to be doing too.
Yep.
But I mean, I hope that one ships right away. So,
well, I think that one's actually slated to be covered on the show a few weeks after it comes out. So
yeah, so I don't think we'll have a problem there. But yeah, I mean, the point is, I just hope that one, I actually get that copy when it ships, supposed to ship. So
yeah.
But yeah, also this weekend, I had a birthday, which was awesome.
Yeah,
really
34,
good time.
turning into an old fart. As W Dub says, when is Jeremy going to call Moodz an old fart? Well, I just did.
Yeah. It's a little depressing because next year I'll be in my mid 30s and then I'm just closer to 40. So that's just not good. Just makes me feel old. But anyways, had a good time this weekend.
Like I say, you can still outdrink me any day of the week. So
yeah, well, fucking 2-year-old could outdrink you.
Yeah, I asked Moodz. I had 2 drinks. I had 2 drinks before the day I got the stomach flu, and I was fucking tipsy as hell. And
oh man, is that like a common thing with Jews?
Is that a common thing with Jews? I don't know. No,
not really. No, I don't think so.
I just don't drink. So when I have 2 drinks, I'm tipsy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. So, JP, do we got some news?
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life.
Hi, Daily Weather. Phone calls are pouring into the New York One newsroom as a several more few miles from the town of Burkittsville. Well, just hours ago, police arrested 3 obsessed movie fans who allegedly committed a series of ritualistic murders after watching last summer's blockbuster movie, The Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, we do. First up, The Purge 3, the writer and director James DeMonico is returning for the 3rd film. So, I mean,
that's all right. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I like when it doesn't happen often, right? I mean, no. It's not often they stay to the 3rd one. They're usually gone. Maybe they'll stick around for the first sequel, the 2nd film, but they're usually gone after that. So, I mean, hell. So, Blumhouse, Platinum Dunes, and Universal are moving forward with The Purge 3, which I believe was already announced, I think, right? So,
well, that's another movie we talked about today in my class, because my professor's like, yeah, Purge 2 was a better film, but Purge 1 was shot better. It's like, I could see where you're coming at, but I would love to see like the Purge 1 shot. I mean, the Purge 2 shot like the Purge 1. I think.
What's the consensus with this film right now? Is it actually good?
I'm hearing it's better than the first one, but I still am not. Well, see, the thing is, from the mainstream, everybody loved The Purge, but from like the hardcores, nobody liked The Purge. But from what I'm hearing from the mainstream, it's right around like The Purge 2 is awesome, and from the hardcores, it's like it's better than the first one, but it's still not amazing. So that's what I'm getting.
Interesting.
I'm curious to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna see it. I like the concept. I'll give it another shot. But I mean, this is our new Saw, right? Or our new Paranormal Activity, I guess. Oh, wait, you know what I mean?
That's right. I'm happy with it. It's better than Paranormal Activity. So
yeah,
because there's so many. We've talked about this before. There's so many things that they could do, like with this idea. So.
Well, that's the thing. It's just you could change the setting every time, and it becomes, it's the same type of film, but it's different.
They should set it in like a really poverty-stricken area where there's like no defense.
Well, I think they'll save that for part 5 or 6. It'll be in the hood.
And Postmaster P will make an appearance.
And then
Postmaster P will be fucking shit up.
And then part 10, they'll take it to space.
And somebody's hand will get cut off, and you'll see their middle finger floating.
And then, in part 11, it'll verse Paranormal Activity.
For a fact that if they do make like 7 or 8 Purge films, one of them is going to be in space, one of them is going to be in the hood, and one is going to have like a paranormal kind of twist to it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So good.
Yeah. So that was
Jason never went to the hood though.
But he went to New York.
Yeah.
The seedy part of New York, so
I guess so.
It kind of counts. Next up, we have Twin Peaks is returning. What?
Yeah, I just read this just before I was leaving work. What is up with that?
Okay, so it is. I've never seen Twin Peaks, but I've heard nothing but good things. I actually own the gold box DVD set.
It's fun.
Yeah, and basically, it's going into production in 2015, and it's going to premiere in 2016 on Showtime. And this will mark the 25th anniversary of the series, and David Lynch is going to direct all 9 episodes.
No. That's so fucking
really?
cool.
David Lynch is gonna... Really?
Wow, I thought for sure that he wouldn't have anything to do with it. Maybe some type of credit in there. Yeah. Producer credit or something, but wow, he's actually directing? That is super exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting.
Yeah, and the guy who... The other creator, Mark Frost, is also involved. So it's cool. Really in-house on this one.
Did they say anything about anybody returning to the show? Obviously they'll be playing older characters and stuff, but
it's unclear which of the actors are going to be featured in the follow-up. It's going to be set in present day from what I understand. And I don't know. It's is it a sequel show? I don't know how the original one ended or whatever. So, yeah, I think I like the idea that we can go back and grab these old things that were awesome and update them and continue them. Tales from the Crypt, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Do you think it would still work?
Yes, absolutely. All you need is good stories. I guess that's a understatement.
It just wouldn't feel the same.
But you
would be surprised. I think they could. Remember when Beavis and Butthead came out again? Yeah. It was still, you was wonder how it's gonna work. It was the same shit. It was exactly the same. It felt the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think Beavis and Butthead's different than something like Tales from the Dark Side.
Crypt,
sorry. Tales from the Dark Side too, though.
But as much as I want it back, I don't want something on the same lines as the Twilight Zone. The original Twilight Zone series is just so good. It's so classic. The 80s is fun. There's a lot of fun episodes. It's not as good as the original series. And then you got the second incarnation of it, which was in the 2000s, it just kept going downhill. So I don't want that type of decline in quality and stories and stuff.
I don't think there's a demand for it now in these days, to be honest.
I'm really surprised with all the fucking horror-related TV shows that we have right now that there isn't one anthology show.
That's my thing. I think there's always a demand for an anthology horror show. But really quickly, they did say that it is continuing the lore and the story of the original series, and it's going to be set in present day. So, yeah. But really quickly also, I wanted to ask you, Moodz, if you was going to do a Tales from the Crypt reboot, recreate the show, would you have original stories from a team of writers, or would you go back and do all the old Vault of Horror and science fiction stories and all of those stories and just redo the same stories again?
Well, thanks for asking me, JP.
No, I would completely see it didn't really work. In the 2000 series of the Twilight Zone, they redid some of the the original stories and stuff, and it just wasn't the same. It didn't have the same feel at all.
But
so for me, I would actually like to see brand new stories. I would like to see another another Christmas related episode. Obviously not the original Tales from the Crypt one, even though that episode is actually a remake of the segment from the movie. But you know what I'm saying? Just new stories.
I think it's a little bit different though, because you look at the 80s series and they were taking stories from the 50s. So they were already old stories. So yeah. I don't know. I think you're right. I don't know if it would work. Maybe some of the stories, but also you'd probably need new stories. But Tales from the Crypt always had twists and stuff. So I don't trust a group of writers to pump out good stories week to week,
Yeah. Really what it comes down to for me, obviously the story has to be pretty strong, but good casting too.
That was what Tales from the Crypt made stick out, right?
Yeah, completely. It was completely awesome like that. From every week, always had somebody recognizable and someone fun in the episodes. it's just fucking, it is what it is. And like, I mean, today there's like a million actors out there, and I don't know, it's a little more saturated, but who knows? I think it really does come down to good casting. So,
Jeremy?
Who knows?
Oh, so now you want to include me in the conversation, JP.
The reason I said Moodz was because he was actually on my screen. I was staring right at him.
Oh, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, I want to see new stories. I don't want to see cutting cards and all my favorite episodes rebooted with shitty CGI and crappy acting. Like, how could you redo a story like Cutting Cards, which is so classic from the series, and reboot? I don't want to see. I want to see new stories. Yeah. I could see if it would like work on like Netflix.
I would like to have the
like
same structure, though. I would like to have the same structure. Like the intro with the Crypt Keeper.
Oh yeah,
and that like cheesy and like the cheesy outro and stuff. And
but I hope they don't like make the tail creeper and fucking CGI.
No, they still have that puppet and stuff. They can do that again.
Oh yeah, I know that, but frickin', bastards are cheap.
But what I'm saying is it's not like the stories were all taken up. I don't mean like the same exact stories. I mean, but from the same reference, like all those old comics. I'm sure there's more stories to get to. Do you take and do completely new stories, or do you try to look for more comic-based stories that they took them from originally?
Hey man, why not do both? If there is more stories from the original comic books, which I'm not like 100% familiar with, I honestly have never read any of them. But I mean, I'm sure there is. Maybe take some of those ones. But you would have to update some of the story, like not update those comic book stories, but you'd have to have some newer type episodes too.
Yeah.
Right. So.
But I remember, wasn't like Jennifer, the Argento Masters of Horror episode, based on one of those comics from around that time?
I'm actually not sure.
Me neither.
So there definitely is more stories, and maybe it doesn't have to be Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror. There's like hundreds of horror comics from that era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Pick through. So yeah. Anyway, back to the news. Zombieland 2. Sony Pictures is getting more serious about creating a Zombieland sequel, and it's funny because I remember the TV show? They actually made
that was on
TV
Amazon.
Show. Yeah, it was one of Amazon's pilots, and it didn't get picked up.
Yeah.
Did you guys actually see it?
No, but I heard it was horrendous.
I refused to watch it.
Yeah.
Was it shitty?
I never seen it.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, I never.
I gotta say, I'm not overly stoked for a Zombieland 2.
Me neither.
Well, I don't.
We know
really
JP doesn't like it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I've watched it. I've liked it. I just can't get into it. The comedy is not my style of comedy at all. It's the same reason I don't like Shaun of the Dead. When I think of like good comedy, I think of stuff like Stitches that works well. To me, it's a little too polished as well. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of like the polished looking zombies and like the zombie films where it looks like overly Hollywoodified, I guess.
There's really, when you think about it, there's not really that many Hollywood zombie films. It's all like...
Yeah, it's like World War Z and Zombieland. But they all look really polished, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like
I love how everyone like says like zombie films are oversaturated, which is true, but not in like the mainstream cinema wise. Like I can't even think of the last, besides World War Z, the last like mainstream zombie horror film.
Warm Bodies, right?
Oh God,
I know Moodz hates that film.
I never.
Yeah, I guess
that
Warm
movie.
Bodies.
That movie was fucking horrible.
And then Land of the Dead.
I'm sure there's some in between there, but
no, there definitely is lots of theatrical ones and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the original Zombieland film. Like, I mean, I thought it was funny. It was, it had me entertained for the whole 90 or 100 minutes, whatever it is. But I don't know, man. I just don't really need a sequel to it, I guess.
What if they got all the returning players?
I mean, that would be more inviting, I guess, if everyone's... I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't really know, like, what my entire feelings are about this, but...
I'll have to watch it when it comes out or whatever.
The only problem with having, like, rehashing all the characters and stuff is that, where do you take it? are you going to have Twinkie jokes in there? Or now
Well, it's been a lot of years.
Now is he moved on?
All gone now.
Yeah.
Now he's moved on to snowballs. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't have like a huge problem with it. I mean, it's probably going to do very well, especially if everyone comes back. I think that's going to be a huge selling point.
I would not want to be with Moodz in the fucking zombie apocalypse. Where's the fucking combos? Give me the combos.
It just feels one of those films that is contained to itself and really was like, it was kind of unique. It did its own thing, but it doesn't seem like it would translate very well into like a series. Besides like the roles and stuff, like I think you could do more with that. But I mean, it's a really contained film. It doesn't seem like it leaves much room to like grow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a zombie film. A comedy zombie film.
Let's just wait to see if it actually fucking happens before we like.
Yeah, well, they've been talking about it since the first one, and it's been up and down and on and off and red and green.
Let's
that's
wait
the thing.
until
Like,
it comes out and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how long this has been going. Like, when did Zombieland come out? 2009?
6, I believe.
No,
Oh, 9. Yeah, it was 9.
2009. So it's already been 5 years.
Man, that's crazy.
It is crazy,
What the
actually.
fuck did 5 years ago?
Yeah.
But anyway, the studio hired a new writer to write the sequel under the supervision of somebody else, of the director. So, yeah, they're still talking about it. And next up, we have reports that I Am Legend, like, I guess it's a reboot. I don't know if it's a sequel or a remake or what, but essentially what they're doing is they have a script and they feel like it has the mythology and the structure of an I Am Legend film. So they're taking this existing script to a different film and they're morphing it into a script that will fit the themes of an I Am Legend reboot / sequel. It will not star Will Smith. That's what they were kind of waiting on when they initially wanted to do the sequel, but Smith doesn't really do sequels, so that's stupid.
He did Men in Black.
I was just going to say, unless it has Men in Black in the title.
True that.
Yeah.
I don't really care. Completely honest.
To be honest, I am not.
I saw the first one in theaters. I was like, next.
You know that first one made a lot of money too, though.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I didn't hate it. I mean, we all know that it was way too polished once again, and it had a lot of CGI.
And the CGI was really bad.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, but I thought it was like I thought that the dog scene was good and stuff. Like I thought there was some stuff in there.
I mean, I didn't overly hate the movie too. I just thought that the CGI was really bringing it down for me.
I actually seen it in the theater, which is really weird considering I go to the theater like once a year.
Man, I've been to the theater once this year too.
I haven't even been yet. I actually don't think I've been since I seen
Halloween.
Evil Dead.
Oh, Evil Dead.
Oh no, it was Halloween. You're right. It was last October.
Well, you can go see Saw if it comes near you.
I know that it won't. There's no way that's coming to my area, but absolutely,
It's getting like a mainstream release.
Are you serious? Then I'm going to see it if it comes, dude. I actually stand by it. Like a lot of people kind of forget, but Saw is an amazing film. It's one of the best of the decade / anything post 90s. It's literally one of the best films from that time. I love Saw.
It's very iconic. I have to say, the ending is super iconic. So yeah.
People forget how good that film is.
Yeah, like I said, I saw that in theaters. I was fucking 11 years old. I still remember it.
You know what? I actually seen Saw and 28 Days Later back to back on video at my older cousin's house. I was hanging out with her son, who's a lot younger than me, and we watched both of those back to back, and that was a hell of a double feature. So yeah, next up we have Elvira. She is making a return to her horror hostess, Mistress of the Dark, where she kind of hosts these old public domain horror films, most notably Night of the Living Dead. And she's doing this on Hulu, I guess Hulu Plus, which, is kind of, I guess it's similar to Netflix, right? Do you guys have Hulu?
No, but I know other Criterion films are on there, so...
Yeah, I think the cool thing about Hulu is, from what I understand, a lot of like mainstream shows, the night after they air, the episode will be up on Hulu. So, you know, it sounds kind of cool. But she's doing 13 Nights of Elvira. I seen there's a list of all the films that she's going to be doing. But, I mean, dude, Cassandra Peterson, Elvira is still doing her thing. How awesome is that?
Yeah, that is awesome.
It is awesome. And she still looks good.
Oh, yeah, her tits look nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so check that out, guys. If anybody has Hulu and checks it out, let us know how it is, because I don't have Hulu. After that, we have Don Mancini, who is, of course, Chucky creator. He wants to do a...
Don't say it, JP. Don't say it.
He thought it would be cool to have Annabelle and Chucky do a film together.
I don't understand.
It's like, you know what, Mr. Don Mancini?
Go fuck yourself.
Mr. Donald Mancini. Listen here, guy. You take Chucky, who was in a bad place, and you send him in the right direction, and look at you. You fucking want to take him right back to the place where we don't want him to go. What is wrong with you?
They want to pull him right track.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand that. That's such a fucking huge cash grab. I mean, that's worse than Annabelle.
Yeah, but what he does say, it seems like he was just kind of throwing it out there. He said the only problem is they're from different studios, and it'd probably be years before it would ever work out. So, I don't know.
Don't do it. Please don't ruin my favorite character. Please. You already made me sit through Seed of Chucky. Please don't fuck it up. Please, no.
But the director, he said there is a connection, which I thought was cool. The director of Annabelle was the director of photography in 1991's Child's Play 3.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he also is saying that, I think he said something about maybe it would even be possible for Annabelle to make a cameo in Chucky 7 or something, but he's actually writing that right now. So, I mean, if anything out of this news, it gives us a little update that Mancini's hard at work on Chucky 7. So, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Keep it in the right direction. Please.
Yeah. I mean, it left off in a weird place where it felt like it was going back to the way I didn't want it to be.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Curse of Chucky was a strong film. I believe it made both of our top 10s. Jeremy?
Oh, yeah. Number 3. No, number 2, actually.
Yeah, mine was like number 8 or something. But, I don't know. Did we ever hear Moodz' opinion on Curse of Chucky?
I said I liked it. I don't think it was in my top 10, though. I can't remember.
You didn't see it at the time.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Next up, Amityville. We reported that Amityville: The Awakening was delayed.
We just try not to laugh.
We actually figured out why it was delayed, and according to Bloody Disgusting, their inside source tells them that the Weinstein Company had 2 test screenings of Amityville: Awakening, and the feedback was overwhelmingly positive.
It's overwhelmingly shitty.
Yeah, and they said
this is really hard to believe.
It is hard to believe.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't know. Is it the fact that, you know, that the reaction was overwhelmingly awesome, or the fact that they just made another Amityville film? I don't know. But
dude,
yeah.
First of all, it's called Amityville: The Awakening. If that doesn't have like a Hellraiser 8 type sound to it, you know, like it's just as generic as like every
but
subtitle.
You know what's so bad? You know what's so bad about that title, Awakening? It's like this is the 10th Amityville film, or like 9th
Dude,
or 10th or something.
if they're just awaking, I fucking take that.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of make sense, and it's kind of comical in the sense that some of the middle sequels are pretty fucking sleepable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people have been sleeping, so maybe this is, you know, the Awakening, but...
Oh, my God.
Here I'm trying to justify this because, you know, there's 10 Amityville films, but...
You know what's funny is we keep calling it...
They're fucking test screening Amityville films.
Well, but this one is actually going to be like a theatrical, like mainstream release. So the last couple, I think, have been what, like?
Oh, they've been straight to DVD.
Yeah,
for sure. But like, okay, so the last like bunch of Amityville films have been straight to DVD. So what made them decide to make a new Amityville film that was going to be a cinematic release?
Because they probably sat down and they was like, all right, Harvey. We can throw a little bit of money and make another direct-to-DVD Amityville film, or we can throw a little bit more money and take it to theaters. What do you want to do?
But the thing is, though, I think the last few have been, like I said, they've been fucking pretty bad.
Well,
right? Like,
actually, what was the last Amityville film? Was it the remake?
I think it was the found footage one that we were talking about. Or is that this one?
I think the found footage one is actually related to the original franchise. Like,
no, I think the found footage one is like axed. I think this is the found footage. They dropped.
No, there was another one. There's so many of them, I can't even keep up with it. But
I keep calling this
like Amityville Haunting. Amityville Haunting, was that the name of it?
Yeah, I think that's actually part of the franchise, like the original franchise.
I don't know how many there are, but we call this one Amityville 10, so that's what we're going to keep calling it for now on.
Let's not give Kevin Smith $6 million to make Clerks 3, but we're going to give money to fucking make Amityville Awakening. That sounds like such a great idea.
I know, it just blows my mind. It's basically, this is the equivalent of Hellraiser 10 coming out and it having a theatrical release.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, JP, like, you can agree with that, though, right? Like, all of a sudden, they're like, oh, let's make this fucking big-budget Hellraiser film.
Yeah, which they actually are doing. Like, well, at least they're considering doing. So maybe what they're trying to do is take their properties like Amityville and Children of the Corn and Hellraiser, and they already, got as much as they can out of the direct-to-video market with those films. Nobody trusts them anymore. Nobody's going to buy your Hellraiser Revelations 2. So let's just, put money into them and make them big so people actually go to see them. And then we'll make all the sequels to these low-budget direct-to-video things, and it's a cycle.
I know exactly what's going to happen here. The creators of the Witchcraft series are going to be like, seriously, guys, we have 14. The 15th one is going, we're going to make this big-budget Witchcraft film, and it's going to the theater, straight to the theater.
Well, first they got to
coming soon to a theater.
We're going to have test screens. We're going to have test screenings and everything. We're going to invite all the Weinsteins. Everybody's going to be there. Big bowls of popcorn, fucking jalapeno cheddar, fucking everything, man. It's going to be just amazing. It's going to be a great party. And we're going to release this huge worldwide cinematic release.
Dude, I'd love to see
Witchcraft 15.
What's the Roman numeral 15? Is it X and a V?
Yep.
Coming soon. Witchcraft XV.
XV.
Yeah. Is there really 14 of those?
I think there is 14, yeah.
14.
I know there's a lot. I think it has the record, right?
Yeah, I think it technically is the biggest horror.
I mean, Godzilla, but that's kind of like,
Yeah, I think it's, yeah. I mean, I guess there's a lot of those. Anyway, the main issue the audience had was the ending. So they're doing reshoots, and I believe the director is actually working on Shameless right now. The next season is Shameless, so he's busy, and then he's going to come back, do the reshoots, and then they're going to pump it out next year sometime. So, yeah, I mean, we're talking shit now, but watch it be good. That would be fucking shocking. Huh?
Actually, there's only 13 Witchcraft films.
Oh, there isn't a 14th
number
one?
to end on.
No 14, only 13.
So my mistake.
And the last one came out in 2006. So
number 14 is going to be a two-parter, both theatrical films.
Yeah, Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Awesome.
Hitting theaters December 2015.
Yeah.
So yeah. Next up, we have. I believe this is next. We have the DVD announcements. So, Bad Turns Worse. This is Stars Media. They announced they will release Bad Turn Worse, which was formerly known as We Gotta Get Out of This Place, which I like that title a little bit better, I think. It's kind of long, but I like it. They're going to release this in theaters and VOD November 14th. It's about 3 Texas kids who are having fun with a bunch of stolen money, and to repay their debt, somebody got them doing shit, stealing from bosses and shit, money laundering, gangsters, all kind of stuff like that.
Gangsters.
Yeah. But this film actually premiered at the 2013 Toronto International Film Festival, and won the audience award. So I don't know if it's horror, but it's on the horror websites, and it won the audience award. So look forward to that one.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. After that, we have a found footage style thriller called Mockingbird, which is going to be hitting digital HD October 7th, which is today. So check that out. And it'll hit DVD and Blu-ray exclusively at Walmart on October 21st. And this film is being released by Blumhouse and Universal. Blumhouse has been pumping out a lot of stuff this year. Town That Dreaded Sundown, and the Insidious films, stuff like that.
Guarantee my Walmart will not be carrying that film. They've been really slacking on the new releases.
It's a Walmart exclusive. I hope they would carry it.
Yeah, dude, if Walmart doesn't have their Walmart exclusive...
my Walmart never gets Walmart exclusives, I swear. It's ridiculous. I don't know, but I'm sure they'll get the new Lizzie Borden film, though, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... I've been hearing good things about this one, though. So that's something that I'll probably end up grabbing when it comes out. And the cover looks pretty cool. I think there's like a clown on it or something.
Oh, nice. Clowns are always good.
Yeah. After that, Planet of the Apes. Not much horror, but, you know, it's in that world, I guess. There's going to be the new film, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, released on Blu-ray and DVD on December 2nd and digital HD November 11th. And also they're releasing a special edition, Planet of the Apes Caesar's Warrior Collection, which has the 2 new films in it. You guys seen that one?
It's very predictable, but it's not too bad, I guess.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either, but I did like that remake, Rise one, or whatever.
That was a good film.
So after that, we have Twilight Zone, this big-ass set, limited to 7,500. It will include the 60s series and the 80s series, both together with 41 DVDs. It's so many.
I'm really hoping that they don't package this thing how they did with the just the 80s series re-release.
What, did they stack them?
It's stacked.
Oh, that's the worst.
It's got like a gatefold top, and then
it's like, where the hell are you gonna find? Where the hell are you gonna find a 41 disc flipper case?
Exactly. I know. I've been actually hunting for a couple of those. The 14 millimeter 6, I think it holds 6 in each, so I'm gonna have to sleeve one of them. But I am looking to do that with my 80 series because I can't stand those stackables. It's it's fucking ridiculous. I don't know why. But the thing that pissed me off about the 80 series re-release is that it was put out by CBC, and CBC just recently released the entire Monsters box set, which was in 3 DVD keep cases, like in a nice little box. And you know, this one's kind of similar, but it's got that fucking stack tray. Like, why the fuck did they cheap out so much with this one? It's basically the same amount of discs, too. I think the Monster set is around 13, 14 discs, and this one's 13. So, come on, motherfuckers. That's ridiculous.
Cheapos, man.
It is cheap, man. I was really pissed. And, like, for the price, too. I mean, if you're going to stack that shit, at least give us, you know, like a $19.99 fucking bargain deal on that. That shit was $43. You know, thinking I'm getting, you know, DVD keep cases, you know, so the shit doesn't get all fucked up. But, no, that's not the case. So, now I got to go hunt down a couple 6-pack fucking, you know, keep cases.
That definitely is not the case. It's not the case that you want.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But no, I imagine with a 41 disc set, they're not going to be stacking that shit. Could you imagine? Oh yeah, I need to get fucking disc 38. Like, yeah, dude. By the time you get those other discs will just be scratched to shit, man.
I did briefly look at the picture, and it just looked like there was a lot of stuff there, so I just like didn't really pay that much attention to it. It just looked like just tons of stuff, and I was like, I don't even want to try to remember this for the show. Just, you know, look up the picture, guys.
Yeah, it's something I definitely won't be purchasing. Like I said, I have the original, I have all the series anyways, so that's just not on my radar.
I know this is kind of off topic of horror, right? Aren't you guys gonna pick up the Wonder Year sets?
I want to eventually, but it's a little out of my price range now. It is my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty pricey right now, too. I think eventually I'll pick it up, too. Yeah. It's one of my favorite shows. It was, you know, the time it was out was just amazing for me, so.
Yeah.
But
after that, we have Twilight Times. They are re-releasing Fright Night Blu-ray. I don't know if it's limited. It probably is. It's the 30th anniversary. It's gonna be released January 21st. They got a bunch of new special features and stuff. Yeah. I don't know.
Bunch of new ones. I think they're putting special features on these, you mean?
It still makes them new.
I think the Christine has some special features on it.
Yeah, and I also heard that they're doing new transfers for them, too.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, a lot of people complained about the transfers on both those, so I think that's what they're going ahead and doing, trying to make the fans a little more happy. But you know what they could do? Stop eliminating their shit.
Yeah, that would make all the fans happy, because then somebody could actually see Fright Night in HD.
This is going to happen again. These are going to be limited to 2,000 or 3,000, whatever the fuck they are. 3, they're going to sell out, and then it's going to be deja vu all over again with these.
I just don't get it, man. I understand you hike up the price a lot, and then you make a lot of money really fast, and it probably helps you get future releases because you have that bankroll coming in really fast. But you're just denying people from seeing films, man. I don't like that that's like the main issue I have with it, is you're denying people from seeing these versions of the film, and that's just not cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
It's bullshit. It is bullshit.
It's like, then you have the people who sit in line and wait just to grab like as many copies as they can, and then they resell them, and it's like,
you can't do that anymore.
No, they're completely limited how many
it's one.
I know.
You can only buy one copy.
Yeah, but I'm sure that these people find ways around that, though, right? I mean, like, you have like 6 of your friends like sitting around, like, order like 6 at a time, or whatever. Like, I'm sure there's somebody out there who's figuring a way out to get a couple extra copies or whatever. But my point is, even if it is just one person who buys it and doesn't plan on owning it and just wants to resell it once it goes out of print, it feels like they're stealing. They're like, you know what I mean? It's extortion.
Extortion. Yeah, I know you're getting at, but I don't know. As far as I know, I don't think Twilight Times is ever going to stop, limiting their stuff. So I think it is what it is. So if you ever want to film, then you just got to jump on the site and jump on that site and just fucking pick it up. Surprisingly enough, I think me and Jeremy were talking about this earlier, and the Blob actually still has copies left.
Mm-hmm.
The Blob remake, which
there.
is really, really surprising to me that didn't sell out right away. It's very interesting. I think maybe less and less people are actually trying to support Twilight Times, maybe. I don't know.
Well, like I said before, I will never support them as long as they're limiting their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. After that, Arrow Video is going to the U.S. They have a Indiegogo campaign. They are releasing a couple films. You can, they're trying to get their funding to create offices and all of that jazz in the U.S. Of course, they will be releasing different films than they would be in the U.K. due to the rights issues being different in different territories.
Mm-hmm. That's so fucking awesome. It really is. I'm super stoked for that. I mean, Arrow Video had a flash sale, I believe, fucking 3 weeks ago or something, and I'm still waiting for my copies. I ordered 3 De Palma films.
You got Sisters?
I did order Sisters,
yeah. I ordered one, too.
And, and I'm like, where the fuck are they? So, but I guess it's not really a whole lot different. A lot of times when I order stuff from the U.S., it does take a couple weeks, too, but still, I like the whole idea of them coming over here. I think it's awesome.
Because I especially like it considering I will not buy region locked things that I don't have a player for. Mm-hmm. I'm just real stubborn that way. I just won't do it. I never have done it. I would maybe do it if it was like a really cheap DVD or something, like The Howling 9 or something. But like, I'm not gonna go buy this super awesome special edition that's gonna cost me.
Surprisingly enough, the Howling 7, I think, is the one that only has a Region 2 release. No, is it 6 or 7? That one's actually not cheap.
Yeah.
It's not.
It goes for
It
like
used to be.
anywhere like 5, 6, 7 pounds, which is like fucking $400. Like, it's ridiculous. No, it's $15 kind of thing. It's like holy shit, dude! I want to pay $15 for this really, really shit fucking Halloween sequel that is eluding my collection because it doesn't have a Region 1 release. Like,
Yeah.
fucking kidding me? I just haven't been able to find a good price on it.
But they have a few cool deals out there where, on their campaign where you spend like $65 and you get the next 3 unannounced titles on Blu-ray. I like that idea.
What happens if they're shit titles though?
I don't know, man. I guess basically it would come down to getting any type of genre films. Like, I mean, they could be action films, they could be anything. So you don't really know what you're getting. So at the same time,
does Arrow not only do horror?
Oh no, they put out lots of stuff. They put out action films. They put out a variety of. But honestly, a lot of the films that they do put out are good films.
I don't watch other films.
But yeah, they do put out from other type of genres. They put out pretty good fucking movies. So, but yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking about last night. I was like, well, fuck, man. Like, I don't really want I like Delta Force, but do I need the Arrow Blu-ray of it? Probably not.
They should release Men at Work.
They should release Men at Work. That would be fucking awesome.
I still want that. That's another movie I want to find in the wild, man.
But so with this deal, if you want to get the 3 unannounced things, you might not even be getting horror films. So
yeah, see that
unless you can pick a genre, that would be cool if you could actually pick. You're like, oh, so what type of films do you watch? If you watch everything, put everything. I just want horror films.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't look into it and read closely, but that's a deal breaker for me because I give absolutely no fucks at all about getting a non-horror release of anything. I don't even buy non-horror DVDs unless it's like the Goonies or something.
Yeah. So that would be a problem with some people, I guess, if you're not into all types of films. So yeah.
Yep. And after that, we have Scream Factory announcing 7 titles since our last show.
So crazy.
JP, it was so funny you showing me the text of our conversation. Scream Factory is really quiet these days. Yeah. It's like the next fucking day. They just go apeshit with their releases or with their announcements. Fucking bizarre, man.
Mm-hmm. So they're doing their Shocktober thing. They announced a sale today, which I grabbed a few things. I grabbed Motel Hell, Evil Speak, and another one. I can't remember what it was. But so they're having these 6-pack sale things where a couple of their titles are at a lower price than they normally are, and it's free shipping if you order 2. Plus, there's these sweet magnets.
They're doing magnets instead of coasters.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I really like the coasters, so these magnets will be cool also. And each week during October, they're going to have 6 other titles on sale, but they also lowered the prices on a lot of their other titles too. So now if there's Scream Factories that you don't own, now's a good time to grab them.
So my only question is, when is Scream Factory going to lower their shipping prices to Canada?
Why, how much is it to ship to Canada?
$30 for one Blu-ray.
Really?
$30 is $29.99 for one Blu-ray. I don't get it.
What, do they ship it fucking by Ferrari or something? Jesus.
Ferrari? No,
there has to be a reason, though, right?
It fucking blows my mind. I order shit from Arrow Video. I ordered 5 Blu-rays and it cost me less. What the fuck?
I would assume that it would have to do with the process that they have of shipping. Don't even
try to justify that. This is bullshit. $30 fucking bucks, dude.
Yeah, it cost me $36 to ship a 6-pound box.
Does Charlie Band secretly own Scream Factory?
No, what I'm saying is it's about the process, because when I get my Scream Factories in the mail, they don't come in your typical package. It's a big square ass rectangle giant thing. So I think that it might be the process in which they package and do things right now is probably not the best for
not $30 worth.
Dude, I order from Diabolic DVD all the time, and my shit comes in boxes. It comes with those air pocket things, and it comes in boxes. And the shipping's not even fucking close to that. I don't know why. I mean, because they don't like Canada? I don't know.
I don't think it's that. I think it's literally something that there's something wrong with their process, because why wouldn't they want to make more money, right? I mean,
well, obviously that's the thing, but who can justify that though? Like, you're gonna pay fucking $20 for the Blu-ray and then $30 for $50 for a fucking Night of the Demons?
Well, I think what they're saying
so.
there is like we're not selling to Canada, but we can't say we're not selling to Canada, so let's just hike the price up.
Why do
what the
Code
fuck?
Red does.
All you're doing is just denying people seeing films. Then
Yeah, JP. You're going
Like,
against your own
No,
standards.
you're not denying people from seeing anything. You can still get it.
nobody's gonna fucking pay that, dude. No one's
Dude,
buying
but
shit from
I'm saying,
Canada.
but yeah, you can still get it from Amazon, though. They're not
know.
denying you from seeing it.
I know, but what? Like, I would really like
There's
to, you know,
other
order and
outlets.
maybe get some of these Scream Factory only, you know, promotional things like their coasters and their magnets and their posters and
Yeah,
city
you have it
posters.
just-
I agree that it's an issue, but I do know that they have stated something in the past about it being like out of their control right now.
I don't understand. Like, how do they not regulate in their shipping though? Like, I mean, they must like, who's doing this?
No,
I don't
I
get it.
agree. I agree that they should shed some light on this, because we are in the dark right now, and I have no idea like why, but I'm sure it's something. It's not just that they don't want to.
I think
I actually-
Chroma's the same way, though.
Oh, Troma's website is fucking just as bad. And same with Full Moon. Full Moon to Canada, Troma, and Scream Factory are probably, I think, the three worst I've ever seen. And it's weird, man. Like, I'll go to other websites and it's like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Like dirt cheap to Canada. I'm like,
It is
fuck.
never dirt cheap to ship something to Canada.
Well,
Yes, it is.
I mean, considering what some of the
It's
average
just
prices are.
It's just as much to ship something to Canada than it is to the U.S. if it's like under like a pound.
Really? Because I sent Moodz Holliston Season 1 and it cost me $10.
What the fuck did you send it? Express?
It's
No,
all
I
depending.
the cheapest that the post office lady would let me send it.
Well, that picture's wrong, because I sent a copy of Inside to Dylan, and it cost me like $2.48 or something.
Yeah, so it all depends on like who the like the way they explained it to me. It depends on who the carrier is going to be at that time and stuff like that. And I mean, I
don't understand the postal service, so
it doesn't make sense, because basically I remember shipping you a package, JP. I think I sent you 5 or 6 DVDs one time, and that package cost me like $14 or whatever for 5 or 6 movies. So I basically asked her, you know, because you're located in Pittsburgh. And I said, you know, if I wanted to send this package to my buddy who's in Toronto, which, you know, is obviously in Canada, and it was going to cost me $23. That wasn't crossing the border. And like, we worked it out right at I don't fucking get it. And she's like, I don't even understand it either. So 23 to Toronto, or 14 or 15 to Pittsburgh, which is crossing a fucking border.
Yeah.
To explain it to me. I don't understand. So I'm like, and she's like, it changes all the time.
Like I said, it cost me $38 to ship a 6-pound box to Canada, so it's kind of crazy. It's $6 a pound, pretty much.
That's actually pretty, I mean, considering.
Yeah.
You know, but wow. Yeah, so shipping, it's annoying.
Yeah, definitely. And I agree. I mean, Scream Factory needs to figure out what the hell they're doing and figure out a way to help out the foreigners.
On that note, I haven't been to the website in a long time because I obviously don't go there to shop, so I don't even bother. Yeah. But I should just, you know, go back and check it out just to see if the shipping still is the same, or unless they change it. But as far as I know, I don't see any of those fellow Canadians buying from Scream Factories, so I'm assuming that the shipping is still ridiculous.
And when
maybe I could find out something. Maybe I'll try to look into it and see like why it's so much.
And when you're there, go to shoutfactory.com and order the Pee Wee Playhouse Blu-ray Complete Series.
No, don't even bring that guy up here. Anyway, Scream Factory announced 2 films first. They announced some horror comedies, Love at First Bite and Once Bitten. This, I guess it's like a good double feature. I mean, like, pairing those 2 films together, right?
It's a perfect double feature, actually. They're both goofy-ass films, one with Jim Carrey.
And I assume both vampires, correct? Yeah, so these are supposed to land Valentine's Day of 2015. Okay, dude, if you're going to make Valentine's Day, like, you're going to make films that can work for Valentine's Day. Why the hell have you not released a Christmas film yet? That kind of makes me mad.
Oh no, they didn't release Christmas Eve. That was Synapse. They're doing all
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. My bad. Jeremy being a fucking idiot again.
Well, Christmas Evil's actually getting a Blu-ray release from Vinegar Syndrome this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they acquired the rights from Synapse.
Well, I knew I read it somewhere then.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, they announced Class of 1984. Not much of a horror film, but it is, going to be a collector's edition. And
if they're going to decide to release films like that, that's a title I'm actually pretty stoked about. That's something I'd want to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
It's not a horror film. It's more of like a Shout Factory release, but I'm fine with it because it's a very cultish film and it's a good one. It's a good film, and plus I don't have a copy of it either.
And
so
it's hyper violent. So I think that films like this, I'll use my argument that I was using against for the zombies and infected thing. These are the films that if you was, designing your collection by genre, this would be like right next to the horror genre. The horror genre would be leading into like this genre, the exploitation and stuff like that. Your Mad Maxes, like those type of films.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm excited about this release. I like the film. Michael J. Fox is actually in it, which is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then they announced Supernova.
Yeah, this one I haven't. What the fuck is Supernova? I even asked this when we were chatting. I was like, "What the fuck is Supernova?"
I know. I saw that when I posted in the group page there, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I looked into it, and actually, when I was looking into it, Joe Call, he posted and he said the movie's shitty.
Yeah.
So I looked up a couple of just written reviews and
it's
stuff.
It's a disaster film, right?
It really was getting blasted, man.
Why the fuck are they releasing it?
What year is it from?
I actually don't. It's from the 80s, I believe, or something.
Okay.
I didn't actually even check. I'm sure I did. I just don't remember. But
so yeah, Supernova. It has Lou Diamond Phillips in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then they announced Blackula and Scream, Blackula Scream. Some black exploitation there. I'm hoping for some nunsploitation next.
Oh, so Supernova is actually from 2000.
Oh wow, what a weird year for Scream Factory.
It came out right in 2000, like January 14th. Apparently, that's crazy. It definitely looks like a 90s film, but yeah. So, the Blackula and Scream, Blackula Scream.
Yeah.
So awesome. That's a great double feature too.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
Yep.
So are they supposed to be announcing more in this October?
I guess they're going to be announcing them all October long, because you look at it, it's 7 days into October and they've announced 7 films already.
That's awesome.
They did say they're not announcing one per day, but they did say that they, plan on announcing more all month long. So cool.
Yeah. Hopefully a clown house.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
I know. Always worth a try.
But the William Marshall as Blackula also played King of Cartoons in Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh, now who's bringing up Pee-wee, you fucking bitch?
I did that for you, man.
King of Cartoons is amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, the 7th film they announced is From a Whisper to a Scream, also known as The Offspring, from 1987. It's an anthology.
Yep, with Vincent Price.
Yeah, I was happy about that announcement. It is another upgrade for me, but I like that movie, so
yeah, there was a lot of cast that was in like other horror movies that they listed for that film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then they gave a little update on the Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror. They originally thought that they wasn't going to be able to do Vault of Horror uncut like they originally planned to. They thought they was going to have to splice in DVD footage, but apparently they found a master, so it will be uncut.
Back on.
Yep. Yeah. So the first disc will include the uncut version of the film and Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and then the second disc will include Vault's theatrical cut from the Fox Master and a rare open matte version of the BF5 Master. So yeah.
Well, at least it's back. At least it's back on.
Yeah. Let's hope they can eventually get Hellhole back on.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So yeah, that's it for the news. That was way longer than I expected.
That was lots. Jeremy, do you got an announcement about Fright Rags?
Oh, yes. So, as you guys know, I love my horror t-shirts. I always wear them. Pretty much wear one every single day. Which people always look at me because I'm wearing horror shirts every single day of the week, but I have a large collection. I try to switch it up. So, Fright Rags, of course, is my site of choice whenever I'm looking to pick up some cool shirts. They always have the coolest stuff, and they always release a whole bunch of stuff every month. So this month's release corresponds with the Scream Factory release of Nightbreed, of course, which is, one of the most anticipated, releases of probably the 2010 so far, I would assume to say. So they are releasing 4 t-shirts. One of them is limited to 500. One of them is limited to 300, and the other 2 are they're not limited. They're just regular Fright Rag shirts. So you'll be able to get them until they sell out, and then they will move to what they call the graveyard. And then if you want them to return, you have to vote. And then at the end of the month, they pick 8 designs, and they bring them back to life.
I like that concept, by the way.
I like that concept.
They do that.
That's cool.
Yeah, so every month you could go on there and find 8 new shirts too.
Now, if they bring them back and then they're gone again, do they just eliminate them completely?
No, it goes back until someone votes for it again. So it could be brought back numerous times, but they're pretty expensive, $27 each. As always, for licensed t-shirts of limited editions usually sell for $3 more than the typical $24 shirts, but they're worth it. They're quality, and they have some pretty awesome designs. So if you guys want some awesome horror t-shirts, head over to Fright Rags, because they're amazing. And this is getting released on Friday, October 10th at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, 10 o'clock Central Chicago time and 8 a.m. stupid Moodz' time, which is Pacific Standard.
Yeah. On that note of t-shirts and stuff, somebody actually asked me the other day on Facebook, which I did not answer back. I just completely forgot. Sorry about that. Where I get most of my shirts too, I generally don't get them from Fright Rags like Jeremy does. I go the cheaper route, and I get them from RottenCotton.com. So if that answers your question, I do get some from Twisted Tees. It's a place in Canada too. I'm sure people have seen my Video Dead hoodie that I wear sometimes. I got that from Twisted Tees, but just a little bit cheaper out.
I have a little bit of a problem with Rotten Cotton because they really don't release original designs. They usually just release like posters, and they switch them up. I mean, they have a few licensed shirts like Gutter Balls and Hanger shirts, which Gutter Balls is one of my favorite shirts that I have in my collection, but that's why I really don't order from Rotten Cotton too much, because they really never have that many like original artwork designs like Fright Rags does.
I have an issue with the lack of color.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, personally, I like the simple, like really simple, like, original poster art shirts and stuff like that. I generally, for the most part, do buy all the ones that do have color. There is some from Rotten Con that don't have color, but I don't
the Vincent Price shirt that came out 3 months ago is fucking awesome too from Rotten Cotton. So.
There's actually a couple new ones too from Rotten Cotton, Vincent Price shirts. I think that are original. So, I mean, they are starting to put out a little more, but yeah, for the most part, I just love my original cover arts and stuff.
And
website, I do too. I just don't like when they're black and white.
A website that I'm starting to look at more is a website called Cavity Tees, and they have some pretty sweet shirts. They just released a Halloween 3 shirt, and they have a awesome Scanners Head Explosion shirt as well. So CavityTees.com has some pretty awesome shirts as well.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Alrighty, so getting into this week's DVD and Blu-ray releases, it appears that there's lots that's coming out this Tuesday, but a lot of it is fucking re-releases and stuff, and some of them are quite bizarre, I have to say. But first up for the notable releases, we've got a double pack here, double horror feature featuring Zombie Apocalypse and Z-War. Of course this fucking movie's called Z-War. It just cracks me up. But it's got Fred Williamson in it, so that's pretty fucking awesome. So if you're interested in those double packs, check out that. We've got the Netflix original DVD and Blu-ray release of Hemlock Grove Season 1, released by Scream Factory. I have to say it is a little pricey, but, what's the word on the street on this, guys?
It's a Netflix show, isn't it, JP?
Yeah, and I think the official consensus about the show is that it is pretty damn average.
I don't watch TV.
I actually haven't even heard anything about it, which is probably not a good thing.
I know it made a lot of waves when it the first season aired, but since has slowed down, and I believe they even said that the third season is going to be the final season. It just seems like a show that just isn't that original, and I guess it's like an okay first horror show for Netflix, but maybe Netflix can do the anthology.
That's what I said.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hemlock Grove on DVD and Blu-ray. Then next up, we've got another. I guess. Sorry, Sick started playing on me again. So we've got another film called The Legend of Lizzie Borden coming out. Now, how many Lizzie Borden films editions are, how many films is there with that title?
There's definitely a few. I mean, Lizzie Borden was a real person, correct? This is some crazy woman who killed men or something. I don't know. I think
in the last 3-4 years, it seems like there's been a film every year about Lizzie Borden.
There was that one,
and I've seen
Richie
none of them.
Yeah. It just seems like they just keep rehashing the story and keep putting these out. It's just, it seems like every time I turn around, there's a Lizzie Borden film. It's fucked up. But anyways, if anyone's interested in that, brand new one, The Legend of Lizzie Borden. And then next up, we've got the DVD and Blu-ray release of Bates Motel Season 2. Been hearing really good things. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to dig into Season 1 here sometime, but... yeah, I'm sure I'll get Bates Motel Season 2 when it drops down to $7.
I'm curious to hear your opinions on Bates Motel, but for some reason, I don't think you're going to like it.
Yeah, I'm really hoping I do, because I'm such a big fan of the films.
I think it's probably the best way to continue the franchise. I think it's better than remaking, or you can't do another sequel without Anthony Perkins. So
we know what happens when you remake. Shit like...
Yeah, they just fucking do a shot-by-shot remake.
It just doesn't work good. Casting
in a literal sense, it's literally a shot-by-shot remake.
It's like one guy tried it, and everybody else who might have thought probably had some ideas to do. There was probably other filmmakers that thought of doing shot-for-shot remakes, and then once this guy did it, they're like, well, that was a fucking dumb idea. I'm glad I didn't go through with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. And then we got another horror-related TV show called In the Flesh. Apparently, this is Season 2 that's coming out. I know absolutely nothing about this.
Never even
at
heard
all.
of it.
I know this one kind of slipped through the cracks on me too. So, anyways, if anyone's a fan out there, Season 2 is coming out this Tuesday. Next up, we got a film called The Devil Incarnate. It's got a baby with a couple horns sticking out of the head. So, some type of devil offspring film, I guess, I'm assuming. Then we got another TV show. This week is just filled with TV show releases.
Yeah, I noticed that.
We have The Following with Kevin Bacon, and that is Season 2. I've just heard of the title. I think, JP, you said the first season was good?
Well, I watched about half of the first season. I thought it was a pretty strong idea, especially for mainstream television. It was kind of violent and, really well acted. But it got convoluted and confusing, especially if you would take breaks, because I remember watching a couple episodes and then taking a little bit of a break and coming back and not really knowing what was going on. So it does seem like a show that you would need to binge watch. But at the same time, I feel like if you did binge watch it, it would just get you would get burnt out on it because you have to think a lot.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting that Kevin Bacon's actually on a TV show.
Yeah, he's good at it too.
There's actually quite a few, really big name actors that are in TV series right now.
Well, TV ain't what it used to be.
No. All right, speaking of TV, we got American Horror Story Coven. I believe this is the 3rd season of American Horror Story. I still need to dig into season 1. I think all of us do, actually.
Yeah, which from what I understand, the 3rd season's the best.
I've heard the exact same thing, so that's inviting.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty good too for season 3. So.
Next up, we've got a release by Scorpion Releasing, and that is a Lou Diamond Phillips film called The First Power. This is a really interesting film. I don't quite remember the whole thing, but I remember Lou Diamond Phillips playing a detective and he's chasing some dude with crazy supernatural powers and stuff. It's a pretty interesting film. I haven't seen it in years, but Scorpion's putting that out, so it's going to be a good release.
Oh yeah.
And then we've got a Hellraiser Collection multi-feature 4-pack on Blu-ray with Hellraiser Bloodline, which is 4, Inferno, which is 5. What are the other 2?
Just
and then
not
I
have
think
an individual release.
Hellseeker and Hellworld, which is 7 and 8.
7 and 8. So yeah, part 6 is not in here, which is Deader.
Which is out of print.
Or in Jen's words, Dreader.
Fuck you, JP.
Dreader.
Just have to bring it up after I fucked it up yesterday. Thanks.
That
so if anyone's
will be
interested,
at the end of the show.
So if anyone's interested in the Hellraiser multi-feature, I think it's going for really, really cheap, actually. Of course, it's going for $11 on Amazon.
So these are the Echo Bridge things repackaged as Lionsgate things.
These definitely are Lionsgate releases. Yeah. Then we've got Sharknado 2 being released on DVD and Blu-ray. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking this out. I thought the first one was hilarious cheese, shitty ass fucking film, but it was funnier than hell. So I'm going to be checking out Sharknado 2. Me with my shitty shark films. Next up, we've got another Blu-ray release of From Dusk Till Dawn, the film.
Yeah.
So I'm just assuming that this is
No, that's I have Echo Bridge one.
Yeah,
Echo Bridge. Yeah, I actually have a steel book of this film, which is weird, oddly enough. But yeah, so it's just getting a normal release, I guess. Then we got a couple more multi-feature Blu-ray releases here, repackaged Lionsgate bullshit. We've got Children of the Corn 4-pack with Children of the Corn 3, 4, 6, 5, and 6.
Yeah, but it's ordered weird. It's 3, 4, 6, and 5.
Which is so fucking stupid. Then we got a Dracula 2-pack with Dracula 2000 and Dracula 2. I'm not really too sure why they didn't just make it a triple feature and put the third one on there too, because I know there was 3 of those, which is odd. That's a Blu-ray release with a digital copy. And, of course, Lionsgate had to do this. They had to release a triple feature, Halloween triple feature with H2O, Halloween 6, and Halloween Resurrection.
Once again, ordered weird.
Yeah, totally. And why? Why would they even bother with this? I mean, all these films have been put out a million times. The Halloween box that just came out, why would they put this out?
Well, something obviously had to happen with Echo Bridge losing the rights and Lionsgate getting the rights. I don't really
get
it, though, because the rights originally are Dimension Weinstein Company stuff, so why didn't they just release it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very odd. And then, of course, we've got, these are just re-releases. These are Lionsgate stuff. The Halloween Collection 3-film set on DVD.
Makes no sense.
No, and then we got the 6-film Hellraiser Collection on DVD and the 6-film Children of the Corn Collection. So if you already don't have these and you want these,
I don't know why
they're reissued by Lionsgate. So very odd. Then we got a triple feature of The Crow 1, 2, and 3 coming. Or this is rehashed too. This has been out before. And then we got another film called Inside, which, you know my opinions on films that just keep using the names. It's very infuriating to me and confusing. So now when you go to look for Inside, this is going to come up, a film with Luke Gross in it.
Yeah, but I would put money on it that the Inside from France isn't the first Inside.
Oh, it probably isn't.
Oh, no way.
It probably isn't, but,
It's
whatever.
obviously the best one.
But, this movie comes out, you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And speaking of, like, rehashing sets and, fuck, man, this just blows my mind. So, the Alien Quadrilogy is being put out again. I'm not sure if this is like a tin Blu-ray box set or whatever. So that is being reissued, and then Aliens on Blu-ray is getting another release, and then there's Alien, the 35th anniversary Blu-ray, which, yeah. So, again?
I can't even keep up. I don't get it. I don't know why that film is. I mean, is it the most like besides like maybe like Evil Dead or something? I swear there's more editions of Alien than like anything.
I know. I mean, I have no problem with. I mean, Alien. I love Alien. It's my favorite in the franchise, and I got to say, man, the cover art on this 35th anniversary one's pretty damn cool. It's kind of expensive though. It's going for like $21 on Amazon. I'm assuming that it looks like it's a big box. I don't know. It's only one disc, but that's weird. But yeah, a little expensive. And then last up for the releases second to last up on the releases I have here is Necromantic being released by Cult Epics on DVD and Blu-ray this Tuesday. I believe this release is not getting a Canadian release until November something, which is very odd. And for the people out there that don't know, this originally was limited to 2,000 copies. That has changed.
Yeah, like 3 times.
Yeah, it's now limited to 10,000, so for everybody out there that was freaking out that they weren't going to get a copy, you probably can get a copy now. It is a little pricey. What is it? Yeah, see, on Amazon it's going for $29.99.
That's stupid.
If you want to get a better price, go to Diabolic DVD. It is going for $23, and that's by far the cheapest price I've seen anywhere. So Diabolic has really good shipping to the US. It's really cheap for you guys, so check that out. And the last release that I have on my side here is the reissued Godzillaverse Biollante Blu-ray. It was put out by Echo Bridge, I think, a couple years back. Went out of print real quick, went for stupid money, and now it's back out. So, and that's on DVD and Blu-ray. So, be on the lookout for that, all you Godzilla fans. Dylan, I know you'll be checking that out, so definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
All right. The ones that I have a film called Talk to the Dead. It looks Asian. A film.
You didn't use your Asian night word like you did yesterday.
My what?
You used like an Asian night word, like you called it Asianish.
Oh,
Japanese-ish or something like that. You said it yesterday and it made me laugh.
And then there's a film called Sledge. I actually like the cover to that one. A film called Red House. A film called Creepy Crawling. Venom, which is one of those Echo Bridge ones. Wrong Turn 1 through 5 on Blu-ray. I don't know why they wouldn't just wait for the 6th one to come out. It's coming out this month, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually coming out this month. Yeah. I'm actually really excited for that film. I'm not gonna lie. I really like Part 5.
Predator 1, 2, and Predators in a 3-pack. And then our ghostly for this week is Mind Games. And
every week, man, we gotta have one. I'm surprised I didn't have it on my side.
Wasn't there 2 though? Wasn't there 2 ghostlies?
But I think we did talk about it last week. For some reason, it's on this list again this week. It's called The Last Light, an Irish Ghost Story. So we have technically 2 ghostlies this week. And then finally, a film called Iguana by Monte Hellman by Raro Video, Blu-ray, $27.98 on Amazon.
Jesus.
Yeah, those Raros go for crazy money.
Crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
And I believe that is it for my releases.
Isn't Aliens getting re-released?
Yeah, Moodz said that one.
Aliens and Alien are both getting new individuals and
you didn't,
fucking box sets.
We didn't have a long conversation like we did yesterday, sorry.
All right, so is that all for the releases?
That is all.
Yeah.
All right, so so one thing I wanted to get into I don't know, JP, if you looked up any more information on this, but I did get somebody sent me what I was led to believe was like basically a copy and paste of kind of announcement from Scream Factory about the defective discs that are in the Halloween box set for the Halloween 4 film. So basically the press release was saying that Scream Factory is not going to be fixing the problem and sending out replacement discs for the Halloween 4 fuck up, the sync problem.
Up,
well, actually, before you get too much into it, I have not found any information on that specific thing. I did contact Scream Factory, and I do have a statement.
Mm-hmm.
But
ooh, look at you.
Yeah, right.
Getting out in the field and reporting.
But I have not seen anything with an official, what you're talking about them not reissuing discs.
Yeah.
So that might have been untrue or whatever, but I did check my Halloween 4 disc, and it is fucked up.
Wow.
Man, that's so fucked up.
So you opened it up and you checked it out?
Yes, I did.
And Dylan's disc is fucked up too, you said, right, Moodz?
Yeah, Dylan's is fucked up, and I know some other people that I know checked theirs and they were good, and some were fucked up. So it's literally hit and miss right now.
So what did Scream Factory say, JP?
Okay, so they said because the film is Anchor-based film and not theirs, talks have been taking longer than expected. They have been speaking daily about it ever since the issue was reported. There are many parties involved and politics that they cannot share with the public. So I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying this. But, they also said they're not keeping people in the dark, but they're just trying to make sure all their ducks are in a row before they go out publicly. And then they said that they have some better news to report. They thank me for my patience. They have found a solution and will be making an announcement soon with a plan of action.
Okay, well, that's better than what I was originally led to believe. So, I mean, I was having a hard time believing that, they were just going to be like, oh, fuck it, man, we're not going to fix the problem. People went out and spent $100 on this box set and they're like, okay, fuck you.
Well, good for you, JP, that you went out there and you reached out to Scream. What did you do? Did you email him?
Secret.
It's a secret.
He just put it this way, he has really sore knees right now.
You fucking bitch. It's a secret. There's only 3 logical solutions. Message them on Facebook, you emailed them, or you actually picked up a phone and you called them. Which I don't think you actually picked up the phone and called them, because that statement sounded like you're reading it from somewhere, so...
Well, I do write down everything that I am supposed to talk about, or else we have a problem like last week or the week before where all my news was fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so that's good, though. I mean, that's encouraging.
Thanks for keeping everybody in the
Thanks
light
for
about...
semi clearing that up, so that's good.
Yeah, I was pretty happy to see that they even, were willing to share information with me, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
That's why Scream Factory rocks.
Yeah. Alrighty. So I think we got a few questions this week. JP, do you have the questions in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever order they come in, just spit them off.
Okay. Let's see here. They're around here somewhere. I actually don't have the questions. My bad. Oh, wait, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
I got the answers in front of me,
but I have down below. Okay, so Matt asks us, from all the movies you guys have seen that ended up in the air, left room for a sequel, and that never happened, what movies would you want a sequel to either finish off a story or create a new franchise?
Well, the very first film that came to my mind was My Bloody Valentine, the original.
Mm-hmm.
I was always surprised that a sequel was never made to that film, that no one attempted to make a sequel, considering the way it ends. The other title that immediately came to my mind, and I know that there's semi reasons why this hasn't had a sequel, but it's quite obvious, and it's Freddy versus Jason.
You know what's funny? As soon as you mentioned My Bloody Valentine, I instantly thought of Freddy versus Jason for some reason.
Yeah, those are the two that always come to my mind right away. I just cannot believe that My Bloody Valentine never had a sequel, but
It had a shitty remake.
It had a remake. I actually didn't mind the remake. It was okay.
But we will never know because it's lost.
But the other film that came to my mind, I don't think you guys have seen this one, but it's Killer Party. I would have loved to see a sequel to this film.
Is that Warner Archives film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome film. But I don't know. I think there's lots of films out there that, especially from the 80s, there's actually quite a few films that just could have had sequels. And it's just surprising that.
I know the funny thing about that is, at Half Price Books, they had a display of all these horror films, and that's where I found Fright Night 2. And Killer Party was actually next to Fright Night Part 2, and it was $10. And I put it back.
Crazy.
I should have picked it up probably, though.
It's worth it, man.
Yeah.
It's a fucking great film.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
I couldn't think of anything.
All right. I literally just thought of 3 while Moodz was going, because I couldn't think of anything either. But Freddy vs. Jason, The Strangers, and Jeepers Creepers 2.
Jeepers Creepers, yeah.
Because it is left up in the air with the guy sitting there with the shotgun. And
so has the third one not been announced though?
It's been
semi-announced, and there was reports that scenes have been shot, but I believe Justin Long, and I don't think I talked about this on the previous news weeks, but just recently he did say that the issue actually is, he didn't say this, but that's kind of what I pieced together. He said that the issue is actually MGM, I believe, that's the company who owns it, had some like bad financial issues, so they actually aren't even producing films right now. So that's been the hold up on Jeepers Creepers 3, and not right. Victor Salva.
Yeah, you don't see many MGM films come out.
That's right. I actually remember reading that too.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
shitty.
Well, that's cool. He's coming back. So.
Yeah. So the next question is from Emperor Sea Dog, and he says, in the spirit of Annabelle coming out this week, what are 3 killer doll films that you guys think are underrated?
Yeah, underrated killer doll films. This is an interesting question because there's a lot of killer doll films that we all know about and love.
Not too many like unknown ones though.
There's not really a whole lot ones. The first one that came to my mind was the Devil Doll from 1964. It's a pretty interesting film, actually. It's not bad. So I don't really hear a lot of people talk about that one. Now this one, I think people do know about. I don't know if a lot of people have actually seen this movie. It just seems like people know about this, but it's kind of the semi-remake of Black Devil Doll from Hell.
Yeah.
The 2007 version, Black Devil Doll. You always hear people talking about it, but it seems like no one's seen it. So I think it's, a little overlooked, but it's a fun fucking movie. It's so racist and just
it's so racist. It's funny. That's my favorite line when I talk about All in the Family.
Oh yeah. Black Devil Doll. It's great though. I love the film. It's such a fucking blast. You can't take it serious. I know this one made a lot of waves. I mean, even Jesse Jackson even quoted about the movie saying this is exactly what's wrong with films and stuff.
Really?
Which is just so perfect. Yeah, because
I've met Jesse Jackson. I've actually met him at a Cubs game, and his fucking ego is large. Is probably one of the largest egos I've ever met in my life. Yeah,
I can see that, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. If you don't want to take your shit serious, Black Devil Doll is definitely worth the watch. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah. And the other one I was thinking of from 1988 is, it's not technically a killer doll film. It has a doll in it. It's more of like almost like a full-size kind of man thing that talks and shit. It's a psychological thriller called Pin. Have you guys seen this movie?
No, but I know
cool.
of it.
Yeah, it's a fucking really weird, interesting watch. And like I said, psychological, so it's pretty twisted. But I would put that in there. And, if I had to go out and name another one, I know people do know this film, but Magic from
Anthony Hopkins,
which is like a ventriloquist thing. So, I mean, those are ones that I had listed that, aren't the more common ones anyways. So I hope that answers your question, Corn Dog. So
I got one, which I'm doing on Scream Factory. Which I'm doing on Body Bags in 3 weeks. The Great Gabbo from 1929, which is one of the earlier. It's a ventriloquist. Man, I can't talk.
There you go.
Type of film. Also, it's interesting. It's public domain. You could see it anywhere, but it's pretty interesting. I'll talk about it more on Body Bags in a few weeks, but check it out. It's pretty good, actually.
Have you guys actually seen the ventriloquist movie that was put out by Extreme Dimension?
Oh, is that the guy?
Dimension Extreme?
That's Mark Jones.
Yeah, I actually have never seen that movie. Did I say
Extreme Dimension? I kind of like that though.
That's all right.
Wow, that was complete. That was like a complete dyslexic moment. Right
I'm
there.
talking backwards too, so I fucked up the Crypt Keeper earlier on. So that's all right.
That's awesome. JP, did you have anything?
Yeah. Tales from the Hood is I guess it's kind of underseen, not really underrated, but the doll scene in there is, I think, awesome. The story, forget what the story was called, but yeah, that one. Curse of Puppet Master, I think, is pretty underrated. Nobody really talks about that one in the franchise. I really like that one for some reason. It pretty much because it's literally a clone of that film, the snake film.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
And Trilogy of Terror 2. Nobody really talks about that one, probably because it's never been released.
Yeah, those fucking there's so many TV films that need fucking like releases.
Mm-hmm.
I was, after Chris announced his new theme week, I started digging around and I was like, fuck, there's so many TV films that don't have DVD releases. It's kind of a shame. And that is one of them.
The 70s and 80s and even, part of the 90s just was like the golden age of TV films. Like a lot
especially the 70s, man. Yeah, there is so many good ones from the 70s. Like there is a fuckload. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But
yep. And then the next question is from Dylan, and he says, what are your top 3 favorite weapons used in slasher films? I guess I'll go first on this one. Mine is pretty classic. Number 3, machete. I just love Jason's machete. Works great for him. Number 2 is Freddy's glove. I mean, shit, dude. It's really unique. And my number 1 is Freddy's dream power, because he can do so much with it. That's a great weapon.
Interesting. Yeah, I basically went with the classic chainsaw. I think wielding a chainsaw.
That was my number 4.
Yeah, wielding a chainsaw, I think is fucking badass.
It's something scary when you just first hear it start up. It's like literally shit in pants.
I know, because it's a fucking loud ass weapon, man.
Even like when you go through like a haunted house and someone has a chainsaw,
and it's just
like,
the carnage is just like. Yeah. It's just on another level, man.
Yeah.
Like you're not even trying to fuck around with that stalk and slash shit, man. You're like, here I come, motherfucker. You can hear me.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I don't know why I wrote this down, but like I was again thinking of that fucking kill from Intruder, but I think one of the most badass weapons ever used like in the slasher film is a bandsaw. It's just so fucking vicious, man. And of course my number 1 is Freddy's glove.
Yeah,
I think it's the ultimate weapon, dude.
It's
like
so unique too, man.
It's fucking badass, man. It's my favorite thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. Number 3, I have the drill, which is the ultimate phallic symbol. We see it, of course, in Slumber Party Massacre. No, I just fucking watched too many film analysis classes that I'm freaking just and we see it in, of course, in Toolbox Murders. Number 2, I have the lawn mower, which is awesome. Once again, bringing back Dead Alive, and we've seen in a few.
Who the hell uses a lawnmower in a slasher film?
Oh, it has to be slasher film? I thought it was his top 3 favorite weapons in horror films.
He did say slasher film, but
that's fine. That's fine.
Really? All right.
Although there's a lawnmower scene in Sleepaway Camp 2.
Oh yeah.
Remember when
that.
there you go.
And number 1, I I have Freddy's glove / television. Which
Freddy's
is awesome.
television.
You fuck shit up, and it's just awesome with it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess like Freddy's glove will go down as like one of the best weapons ever.
And we see television and poltergeist fucking shit up too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Was that all the questions, or was there another?
No. We have top 5 favorite douchebags in horror films.
Top 5
Douchebags.
scumbags or douchebags in horror films. Number 5, I went with Herbert West from Reanimator. You know, but he you know, he's almost likable in the film because he's such a dick. But I don't know, there's something about him. He's a fucking dick in the film, though. He's just got this super high ego that's really annoying, but I love his character. But number 4, this one came to me. I was like thinking of people, and I'm like, oh fuck, the movie was sitting right in front of me. I'm like, oh, there we go. Walter Peck from Ghostbusters. That guy is such a fucking dick in that. I just want to fucking strangle
Walter?
He's the guy that works for the city that's always trying to shut down the Ghostbusters, and he's lying to like the mayor and shit like that about what they're doing. And I just want to fucking strangle that ginger fuck. Every time I watch that movie, he pisses me off so bad. Number 3 is Harry Cooper from Night of the Living Dead. Just such a fucking dick. He's such a fucking asshole. He's basically just looking out for himself. He doesn't give a shit about his family. Number 2 is, oh man, I don't even know how. If this was me in that grocery store, I would have killed this bitch way before she got fucking taken out. And that's Miss Carmody. Miss Carmody.
Yeah. From
The Mist. Fuck, is she ever one of the most unlikable characters ever in a movie, in my opinion. She is such a fucking bitch. Mm-hmm. And I mean, seriously, if I was in that store, I would have strangled her. And number 1 is kind of cliche, but I think he's the ultimate asshole because he's such a fucking... He's an asshole because he's an asshole. And that's Captain Rhodes from Day of the Dead. He's like the ultimate prick. He's such a fucking dick.
I don't even think he's that prickish, man.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's such an asshole. He's such an asshole. Like, when he's fucking telling what's-her-face that he's going to shoot her and stuff. Like, dude... That's real.
I mean, but he's kind of like right the whole time in a way.
No, he's not. Fuck, you can't justify that shit. He was just abusing his power. That's all he's doing, like a fucking dick would.
All right, Jeremy.
Okay, so number 5, I have Billy Nolan from Carrie, who is a total fucking bitch, and he's such an asshole throughout the entire film. Thinks he's better than everyone. So, number 4, I have the main chick from Contracted, who is a fucking bitch. You know, she totally leads that guy on and fucking just, you know, she is a bitch. Her girlfriend is a bitch too in the film. So everybody in that movie are complete bitches. Number 3, I have the jump rope girl from Excision, who is, you know, I guess the main character in Excision 2 is a pretty big bitch, but I went with the jump rope girl. Number 2, Henry from The Portrait of a Serial Killer. He's such an asshole. Such a fucking bitch. And number 1, I had to do it, the entire cast from The Girl Next Door.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I actually didn't even like do a list because, like I was telling you guys, just without the collection, it's so hard to, you know, reference and figure out which films have these type of characters in them. But just from you guys talking, I instantly started thinking of some. The guy from Friday 7, the therapist guy, that dude was a douchebag.
Yeah.
The guy from Freddy vs. Jason, Catherine Isabel's boyfriend, that dude's a douche. Friday the 13th has a lot of those douches, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, there definitely is a few in that franchise, that's for sure. Yeah.
Frank from Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty big douche, huh? And for some reason, I was thinking this like only applied to guys, but you guys started naming like females and stuff, and I think that if you would, take all the like bitchiest bitches and the douchiest douchebags, there would be way more bitchiest bitches in horror. Like Judy from Sleepaway Camp, Julia from Hellraiser. I mean, the list goes on and on. Mother from People Under the Stairs.
Oh yeah, man. There's a lot of bitches.
I forgot about the chick from People Under the Stairs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Freddy's even kind of a douchebag, right?
Yeah, but he's
a pedophile.
Let's not go down that road.
There's so many. So
I think the last question was one that Jeremy asked, and that was the top 5 soundtracks.
Yep.
Yep.
Top 5 soundtracks. So it was funny because I forgot that was the question. I compiled the top 5 scores list, and then I was like, shit. But I actually did it differently. Like the scores was just like, the actual scores, and then like actual full soundtracks, like, song soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
So my top 5 soundtracks was number 5 was Fright Night, the Fright Night soundtrack. I love that cheesy 80s music. It's fantastic. Number 4 is the Return of the Living Dead soundtrack. Really good music throughout the film. I love everything that plays in there, especially the song escapes my mind right now. The scene with Leanna Quigley dancing in the graveyard. The name of the song that's playing there is fucking fantastic.
Make Love Till We Die or something, or Tonight. Tonight.
Yeah, Tonight. Yeah. I'm trying to think of who the fuck it was by.
SSQ.
Is that it? Okay, that's good. Number 3 is the Devil's Reject soundtrack. Everything about that soundtrack is just awesome to listen to. It's just such great music on there. Number 2 is the Demon soundtrack. It's basically 80s hair metal. It's fucking fantastic. Great soundtrack. And my number 1 soundtrack of all time is Tales from the Hood. Fucking love it, man. It's great fucking hard hip hop in there. So
my turn.
Yes.
Sure.
I decided to go, the way I did mine is I thought what soundtracks actually go and help the film in its overall, presentation, like that fits really well with the film. So number 5, this was kind of a weird one that I was having trouble deciding, but I decided to go with Blair Witch 2. Just for whatever reason. I think that the soundtrack really works for the film. It's a lot of music that I would never really listen to outside of the film. It's like metal, I guess. I don't know.
Do you have the Blair Witch 2 DVD / soundtrack combo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that's why it kind of stuck out in my head too, because it came with the soundtrack.
It's such a random setup because it's like a flipper disc.
Yeah. Yeah, it is so weird.
I think that's the only time I've ever seen a release like that.
Yeah, probably.
It's weird.
Number 4 is Tales from the Hood. Just, fits the film so well. Wu-Tang, Spice One. The Spice One song in particular, the Born to Die song, I think just, fits that end scene so well. Number 3, Return of the Living Dead. I mean, dude, it works so well with the film. The Linnea Quigley scene is one of the best scenes ever. Number 2, Lost Boys. I think this one really fits the film, like all the songs work perfect. And then number 1 is Elm Street 4, just because it has a really close place in my, personal attachment to it.
Yeah.
Or Elm Street 3. Both of them have good soundtracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my top 5.
My turn?
Yep.
All right. I think these are all scores, to be completely honest, so no soundtracks. Number 5, Tenebrae. This is an awesome fucking score by Goblin. It probably beats Deep Red and Suspiria as being my favorite scores from Argento films. It's fucking awesome. Deep Red is pretty awesome too, but Tenebrae is an amazing score. Listen to it. Number 4, The Burning, an awesome score by Alan Wakeman, who of course is probably the best pianist in Yes. So which, as you guys know, is probably one of my favorite bands. So it is an awesome score. Highly recommend that one. Number 3, have to have Halloween. It's a classic, and it's awesome. Number 2, 1931's Dracula. It's an awesome score. And number 1, which is probably shocker, Hellraiser, which is an awesome fucking score.
Hellraiser's score is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's a good choice. Yeah, like I said, I had compiled like a score list too. I'll just quickly read it off. It's very similar. I didn't have them in order. I just named them off, but I had Suspiria in there, Tenebrae, Deep Red, Zombie soundtrack, and Dawn of the Dead. I do like both of the scores. Like the Argento cut actually has the music from Goblin in there and stuff. So, but yeah, I like all those scores. Are fantastic.
Cool.
Alrighty, so yeah, we're gonna move along to the Rue Morgue Coroner's Report, Weird Stats and Morbid Facts. This one comes from the April 2011 issue with Hobo with a shotgun on the cover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's actually the very first one on the list here. It just made me laugh, so I thought I'd do this one. All right, so a 69-year-old Russian woman accidentally set her home on fire, attempting to resurrect her sister, who died the year previous, by jump-starting the woman's corpse with an electrical wire she connected to its hand and neck.
And you said the Evil Dead remake was stupid and nobody would do that.
Good fucking point. Yeah, who the fuck does this 69-year-old woman think she is? Fucking MacGyver? Like, come on. Man,
that's a funny one.
I just love the fact that her sister had died a year before and decided to resurrect her now, and she set her fucking house on fire. How dry was that body? Basically, it was just kindling, wasn't it?
I wonder if there was a old guy across the street who was telling her sometimes dead is better.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's
alrighty, so yeah, that is gonna do it for Moodz Swingz. We are moving on to what we watched this week. JP, you want to start?
Yeah. I watched Ghoulies from 1984. Now, I recently watched this when my house was on fire and I was in the hotel. So I just kind of threw it on in the background to refresh my memory because I got a review on it that I'm doing pretty soon. But it follows a young man and his girlfriend who move into a relative, I believe, who passed away. He inherits this old mansion where he becomes possessed by a need to control ancient demons. Ghoulies. So this one, oh man, in my head when I was a kid, like I remembered Ghoulies. It's awesome. But this film is not very awesome. It's I think it's one of those cases where I don't think they executed the idea properly. Like, and we see that later on in the sequel. They just really kind of shied away from the type of film that it should have been. I found that the whole Ghoulies thing there wasn't enough of them. They didn't look the greatest either. I mean, they were alright. There's something drawing this guy to this like ancient witchcraft stuff down in the basement. But that's not executed properly either. They don't, like, obviously he's like doing all these spells and shit, and it's because something in the house or whatever is pulling him towards it, because he's a regular normal guy beforehand with his girlfriend and stuff. So some kind of evil is taking control of him, but it's just not executed good at all. It just looks like he just starts doing all this shit.
I think I pretty much said the exact same thing when I reviewed this on Body Bags.
Yeah.
It's very slow, and the execution of the film is very poor. It's very poor.
Yeah, and there's one scene where he's down in a basement with this like cloak on and shit, and his girlfriend walks down. It's actually pretty funny. She's just like, "What the hell are you doing?" So yeah, I mean, This one, you just want it to go in a different direction. It's really about like the guy like resurrecting ancient fucking spells and shit. It's kind of a weird one. It's not very good. I give it a 5.5 out of 10.
I think that is roughly what I gave it too, actually.
Yeah.
About the exact same. I think it was just a kind of above average. It was worth the watch, kind of thing, but it's just, it could have been a lot better.
Mm-hmm. And we know it could have because they improved on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I prefer Ghoulies too. I believe the reason why I did Ghoulies on Body Bags because I was, I had the part 2 in my 88 series, and it actually did come up in the randomizer, so I was excited about that. But
yeah,
I like the setting of Ghoulies 2 way better. It's way better. So
next,
Jeremy?
Me? All right. The first film I watched this week was yet again a film about people who are willing to do things for money, stupid shit for money, and that is 13 Sins, which is released by Anchor Bay. Now, this film is a lot interesting than Cheap Thrills because it shares some elements of 13 Games of Death, which I talked about when I reviewed Cheap Thrills. I don't know if this movie is a direct remake of 13 Games of Death or is it influenced or whatever, but some kills in the film are the same in both versions, so it makes me wonder if it's a direct remake or has some kind of similar things.
It's a good possibility because 13 Games of Death is, is a foreign film.
Yeah. But basically the film follows a character who is, once again, a little bit of a pussy, just like in Cheap Thrills and 13 Games of Death, and he gets a call on a cell phone one day, and it's a guy on the other end, and he's offering him a chance to play this game. Of course, this guy's down on his luck. I forgot.
Does he sound like Jigsaw?
No, he sounds like a white rich guy. But he says if you want to participate, you have to complete these 13 tasks, and you'll get more money after each task, and the task gets worse and worse as time goes on. So task starts like eating a fly or swatting a fly for $1,000, and then you eat the fly, you get $5,000, and then it just gets worse and worse up to the point where I'm not going to ruin it, but the ending is predictable. I saw it coming from the beginning of the film. Not because I saw 13 Games of Death, because the ending has nothing to do with 13 Games of Death, but it's really, really predictable. It's not terrible, I have to say. I kind of like the main character a little bit. I thought as the film went on, he gained, some balls like in Cheap Thrills and 13 Games of Death, but it's definitely not as nasty as 13 Games of Death because there's one part in that film that just makes me gag every time I watch it. Have you seen it, Moodz?
What?
13 Games of Death?
Yeah.
Do you know the shit part?
Yeah.
Yeah, that part makes me gag every time, but this film, of course, is too Americanized to have that, but has Ron Perlman in it. He does all right. Like I said, predictable. It's okay. It's average 5 out of 10 for me. It's definitely the worst out of the 3 of these, people doing money for shit type of films. So if you find it for a buck,
money for shit. Everybody's talking backwards tonight.
Yeah. If you find it for like a buck, like I did, pick it up. But other than that, it's not recommended.
Well,
too much.
I believe I spent 10 of those bucks on it.
Yeah, not
Blu-ray.
worth that. Not worth that.
Well,
very interesting. How was Ron Perlman in the film?
He sucked. That's the I'd say. He cannot act worth a shit. I mean, I haven't seen Sons of Anarchy, so I would assume he'd be able to act in that.
He's real good in that show.
But he just plays a generic fucking cop. He's not good. I saw what was going to come at the end, like I said, 120 minutes before it happened. It's not 120 minutes, it was like 95 minutes, but I saw it coming all the way from the first time that I saw Ron Perlman on the screen. So it's predictable, but it's all right. It's just average.
All right, so
I should have watched Wrath of Crows instead.
So the first film that I'm going to talk about tonight is from 2000. I think it came out in 2013, but it came out on media in 2014. So I'm considering this a 2014 film, and that is Wrath of the Crows. Yeah, basically, I'm actually going to read the back on this one because
it actually has a Killer Crow film.
No, it has nothing to do with Killer Crows.
It is not a Killer Crow film. And this is the reason, because it's actually worded pretty interesting on here. In a dirty, squalid, narrow jail, prisoners are forced to suffer injustices both from their guards and the ruling officer. Feared by all, however, is a man nobody there has ever seen, the judge. When new prisoner Princess arrives, seemingly out of nowhere and dressed only in a crow's feathers coat, her radiating and sensual appearance begins to cause not only curiosity but also envy, suspicion, and deep sexual aggression. Soon Princess reveals her dark and supernatural nature, moving objects through the power of her mind and displaying feats of otherworldly strength. So basically what it is, it's set in a jail, and it's like this really fucking awesome setting too. Like all these jail cells are just gross, and it's just kind of like, it's like a jail that would be like in some unearthed bizarre
Haunted
realm.
house.
It's really, it's an interesting setting. It's really cool how they did it. So all these jail cells are kind of like in the middle of this room type deal, and so everyone's kind of facing each other, and all these people that are in there have done bad things and whatnot. And Tiffany Shepis' character is the princess. She all of a sudden shows up in this jail cell, and basically the whole movie kind of develops through each of the inmates' like stories and stuff. She kind of brings it out of them with her powers and stuff like that. And it's a really interesting film. It's really intriguing because, it never really has any boring moments because you're exploring all these different type characters, kind of one by one and stuff. So it develops like that. And that's really all I'm going to say about it. I don't really want to give anything away. It's got a really cool ending to it. It's a really interesting structured film. Debbie Rochon is actually one of the inmates in this film. Tiffany Shepis is just fucking beautiful and amazing in this. She does a great job as usual. And, but it's just awesome. Really, really fucking different and unique film. It was really gory. It's got a lot of practical gore in it, which is really nice.
See, the thing about this film is I was not going to pick it up based on the cover because I thought it was a Killer Crow film. Like, the cover totally sells it as a Killer Crow film until I picked it up at Family Video and I read the back and I was like, oh, this has nothing to do with a Killer Crow. I'm going to buy this.
Yeah, so it has like all these different type of elements to it. And it's got a really cool story to it. Like the way it kind of all develops in the end is really interesting. Like I said, Tiffany Shepis really sells it. Of course, you do get to see her boobs, of course, because that's fantastic. She's beautiful. But it's an interesting film, and I don't want to give anything away, but it's gory. It's got some really fucking awesome gore scenes, and everything about it just keeps you intrigued. But I really highly recommend this. It's one of the better films I've seen this year because it's just different. You don't see a lot of movies like this. If I had to rate this film, I'm going to give it a 8.5 out of 10. Just absolutely love this film. It was just a big surprise, really, really big surprise. So everybody out there, check this one out.
You said that one came out in 2014?
It came out in 2013. It got released on media in 2014.
It's interesting. I've never really heard. I don't think I've heard anything about it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was released by MTI Video, and it says 2014. It actually, this just came out, I believe, a couple months back on media. So, cool. But yeah, check out Wrath of the Crows. Fantastic film. Yeah, can't go wrong.
Awesome. So my pick of the week this week is Ghoulies 2 from 1988. This film is actually really good. Like, I wasn't expecting it coming off of the first Ghoulies. I was expecting a bit more cheesiness, but the film follows a traveling carnival that has some rides that are underperforming. A new manager or something comes in and threatens to shut down the rides that aren't up to par. It follows a group, a uncle and some kind of family member or friends or something who run the ride, the Devil's Den or Devil's something. Satan's Den, something like that.
What is this, fucking Final Destination 3?
Yeah. And basically, Ghoulies invade their little ride, and people go in and are actually seeing some hardcore shit in there, some scary shit. So, people are just flocking to that ride, but the Ghoulies are killing them, and that's pretty much your film. I love this film because it feels like it has something that the first film doesn't have, and that's heart. It feels like it has, something behind it, and it feels like everybody involved was having a great time making this film. It doesn't feel as cheap as the first film. Definitely higher quality. The setting is absolutely amazing. I love that theme or carnival setting. It works so well. The Ghoulies are cool. They all look good. Some solid moments in it. Was this film rated PG-13 or whatever?
It wouldn't surprise me.
It's PG-13, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good shit in there for PG-13, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's not bad, actually.
Yeah, eventually they do rampage through the fairgrounds and stuff. Just love the setting, love the Ghoulies. It's a fantastically fun film.
Mm-hmm.
You have anything to say about it?
Like I said, man, the setting it really does work for me in this one. It's got an abundance of cheesy ass moments in it. But the overall feel to this film is so much better than the original one. It has way better pacing, for one thing.
Yeah, it feels like something's always happening. The little person, yeah. I like that guy. He's in a lot of other full moon movies and films.
Yeah.
I liked all the characters. The characters were likable. Just top notch. This was kind of at the height of, like Charlie Band's success in
Charlie Band.
These type of films and stuff. And this probably might be his most successful in terms of like quality, maybe, from that era. I'm not sure. He's done so many.
Yeah, it's really hard to say.
Yeah, but overall, I really, really was super surprised with Ghoulies 2. I actually think it's it is my pick of the week, but I think it's a quality watch. It really is. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even find it to be overly cheesy either. Like, you said there was a couple cheesy moments in it, but how about the dude's like, he's like carrying around the boombox. He's like, my tunes, man, I don't go anywhere without them.
Yeah. The huge ghoulie.
Yeah, man, that shit was cool.
It's fucking funny, man.
Yeah. Rating 7.5 out of 10. Probably seems a little bit high, but I stand by it. I think this is a fantastic watch.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't seen the sequel.
It's really fun, man.
Yeah? Maybe I'll have to check it out.
It's not like a fantastically made
I'm not expecting
anything, but it's so fun, and the setting is just so thick.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Maybe I'll have to check it out.
Go ahead.
Oh, me? All right. So my pick of the week, of course, is a Giallo, and it is Dario Argento's second Giallo, and that is Deep Red, which is... I watched Deep Red and Tenebrae twice in the last 2 weeks because I'm writing a paper on it, but Deep Red, in my opinion, is more enjoyable than Tenebrae. I know Moodz probably disagrees with me on that one, but Deep Red, I don't like it as much as The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, but it's pretty solid. It follows a pianist in Rome, of course, where, Argento loves to have his films take place because he's Italian, but of course takes place in Rome, and the main character witnesses a murder from a street below, just like the main character in The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and this guy tries to solve the murder, and as the film goes on, women start to get slashed and men also start to get slashed. I mean, the most brutal death in the film occurs from a guy getting his face slammed on the corner of a desk, and it's just absolutely brutal, and it's awesome. It's probably my favorite death that I've seen so far in any of Argento's films that I've watched. So even though the film follows the basic giallo, storyline. I still found it enjoyable. There's still a lot of things that I probably have missed and I need to rewatch, but there's a lot of sexual tension in this main male character. He obviously has a little bit of a disagreement with women, and you could obviously see this throughout the film. He obviously thinks he's superior to women. He's afraid that these women are gonna strip away this sense of strength away from him, which I think is why he becomes obviously so obsessive with this case and solving it. But I will post my paper up on the podcast page when I write it. But it's an interesting film. If you guys like Argento and giallos, this is right up your alley. So I gave it an 8 out of 10. Sorry, that was a pretty shitty final review, but 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I love Deep Red, but I think Tenebrae is actually my second favorite Argento film, surprisingly. But yeah, great film. All right, so I kind of did mine backwards this week on purpose. Generally, a film like Wrath of the Crows would be my pick of the week. I have never actually done a shit pick of the week.
An avoid of the week. You doing an avoid of the week, huh?
Yeah, I actually haven't done one of these, so I was thinking, fuck it. I might as well do it this week because, I mean, you guys must have thought why I did Wrath of the Crows first if I was giving it that good of a rating.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my shit pick of the week here is the newly released, on my birthday actually, October 3rd, and that is the, I guess, prequel to The Conjuring, Annabelle.
Oh.
So, yes, Annabelle, which is telling the story of the Annabelle doll. So everybody knows.
There's no Chucky though.
So everybody basically knows what the story is. It's
is it a prequel or a spinoff? What would you consider it?
I heard it's a prequel.
Well, the way the movie ends, it's definitely a prequel.
Okay.
This is because it tells the story and then it shows. Yeah. So it follows your two main characters of Mia and John. They're pregnant.
Don't ever say that.
She's pregnant. Anyways, and of course Mia's like this really, she collects porcelain dolls and like creepy fucking dolls and shit like that. So one day John goes out and buys this, the doll, which is Annabelle, to complete her collection. She's been missing this piece from her collection and whatnot. And, they're your everyday people. They're churchgoers. He's to be doctor. He's in med school and stuff like that. They live kind of like that all-American perfect life. Anyways, one specific night, they're sleeping, and their neighbors, which they are kind of close with, they go to church with and whatnot and stuff, they end up getting brutally murdered by their daughter. Actually, their daughter, I guess, had run away, and she joined this like satanic cult and stuff like that. Anyway, shows up in the middle of the night and murders her parents along with her boyfriend, or she's with her boyfriend. Anyways, they break into their house, me and John's house, and attack them also. And the boyfriend gets shot by the police, and the girl ends up actually killing herself. And of course, she's holding this the Annabelle doll, and the blood from her drips into this Annabelle doll and basically possesses this doll.
That is so fucked. That makes no fucking sense.
So but the thing is, see that now what they're getting at with this, and then basically from there on, it's your typical type. Like,
I mean, but that's
me and
horror
John
movies, right? Like,
yeah, but how the fuck does blood from a satanic cult follower makes a doll?
I mean, but how does that happen in any horror film? Hellraiser, it's
the story with the daughter and the boyfriend and stuff. They were part of the satanic cult that like conjured up demons and stuff, and they were doing these sacrifices. So that's where they're trying to justify how her.
I'm guessing that's not your main problem with the film, though.
Not really.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just bringing up a nitpick
it is pretty cliche, though. I mean, it's so bad. It's just the way she's holding it, drips in the eye, and it's just wow. But yeah. So basically, from there on, of course, me and John, they start experiencing like crazy shit. The doll's fucking with them and stuff like that. They end up having the baby and stuff like that, and just kind of goes from there. There's more hauntings and more weird fucked up shit happens, in your typical type possession ghost type story film. Now my main problem with the movie is very simple, It's so fucking cliched and played straight arrowed. Like there's nothing in this movie that is different.
It just doesn't deviate from
it doesn't
the
deviate.
structure.
The structure is so straightforward and it's fucking predictable too.
That's what I heard. It's like predictable as hell.
It's really predictable. So Mia eventually meets this character, played by Alfie Woodred or something like that. She's the owner of this bookstore, and of course Mia, she's really starting to investigate like a cult stuff, and she's really looking into all this type of shit and stuff like that. Anyway, she's at this girl's bookstore one day and she meets her, and then she becomes like good friends with her and stuff like that. And like the dialogue just gives away in the film what is going to happen in the end. Like it's just so fucking poorly written. I'm like, are you like, I literally looked over at my wife during the film and I went, are you fucking kidding me? And she's like, what? You know, all naive and shit. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, I know it's exactly going to happen. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, this conversation.
Wait,
right
Aaron
now,
liked this movie?
It's fucking horrible foreshadowing. Like everything that they're talking about and shit and the way it develops is so straightforward and easy to predict. I mean, I understand that we do watch a shit ton of movies and we can figure out things maybe a little easier than the average person, but this is ridiculously easy to figure out.
It's like
just
script writing 101, like basic shit.
It's just really, it's too basic. They didn't throw anything into it that would, you know, deviate from that, you know, that very simple fucking Hollywood structure. You know, overall, the movie, it's not a poorly like shot film. I think there was a lot of good, like, you know, shots, like, you know, from transitional scenes and stuff. I kind of like, but the problem is, even with that though, they hinted too much. With basically, you know, they would do a transition scene and they would show like their new apartment building after they moved and stuff like that. And they would always do this camera shot from the ground looking straight up at the building. And they were basically foreshadowing just with camera shots and stuff. And I'm like, okay, they did this about 5 or 6 times in the film. And I'm like, I kind of figured it out. And I was like, and then the end, the film happens. And I was like, oh my God, I am so fucking tired of figuring out shit. Like, this is so bad. And Erin was like, I really like that movie.
Oh, really? She liked it?
She did. She thought it was decent. And I was like, man, I was like, my God. She's like, well, she goes, it wasn't scary or anything. And I was like, well, no, it wasn't scary at all. I will say there was a couple pretty decent parts with this one scene where Mia's trapped in the basement and she's running up the stairs and there's this fucking demon thing chasing her and stuff. And it was actually, that whole scene was actually done pretty well. So there's a couple pretty decent moments in the film, but overall it's very bland.
There's this demon thing, so it's not Annabelle, it's a demon.
Well, this is the whole thing with the movie. It's basically, I don't really want to give the
all right, I'm just trying to figure
and the specifics about it. Exactly why Annabelle is doing what she's doing and things like that, and just the whole thing with the cult and stuff. Like, there is things going on there, but it's pretty fucking straight arrowed, and it's just I don't know. It just doesn't have a lot of substance to it. It's very it's played too straight, and just the end of the movie is absolutely terrifyingly fucking cliched and boring, because they, like I said, they hint too much towards exactly what's going to happen with these characters and stuff, and it just plays out exactly how you would think it was going to.
Do you know who directed
and you're left going, well, that was fucking shitty.
I think the DP of The Conjuring directed it. I don't know what his name is, but
the thing is,
like I said, the cinematography isn't that bad. It's just the screenplay and it's just really kind of poor. And yeah, so
I think one of the issues comes from when you look at like The Conjuring, for example, since they're related. It's a simple, run of the mill ghost story, right? But you have somebody like James Wan handling it, who takes the risks and does shit a little bit different and to a higher capacity, and that's why that film was so successful and good. This, it seems like you have the basic script, but you don't have somebody to elevate the content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I still
stand by our argument from last week, though.
Well, the thing is, I'm not hating on the movie just because I really wanted to like the movie. You know, I thought maybe if it was a really strong type prequel into The Conjuring, I'm like, that's pretty cool. But
which we both admitted,
it didn't play. It didn't play out like that for me.
Yeah. The point wasn't whether it was going to be good or not. It was how he was going about it.
Exactly. So like I said, I wanted to reserve judgment until, I actually saw the film firsthand.
Yeah, now we can
just kind of judge it for myself. And that's the thing. And, I know there is some people that are really kind of liking this film, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, I've heard people like it today at school. I was like,
I don't understand why. It's not good.
Yeah.
Like it's a very below average story.
Rating?
4.5 out of 10.
Ooh.
I specifically give it 4.5 because, like I said, some of the cinematography, there's a couple pretty decent tense moments in it, but overall it's very, very flat and too predictable, man. I hate using the word cliched over and over again, but it is cliched in it. But it's actually just there's nothing new there at all. But I will say, the doll is creepy as fuck, though.
Yeah.
It is creepy because if you actually stare at this fucking thing, like I wouldn't want that doll in my house.
It was creepy in The Conjuring.
Yeah, like the doll is fucking creepy looking, man. I will, state that. But those dolls are.
I wonder when like replicas are gonna like start showing up in like Spencer's and stuff.
Yeah, exactly right.
Fuck, I haven't been into Spencer's in forever.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So that's Annabelle. If anybody out there listening is, actually seeing the movie now, I would like to know your opinions on it. I mean, just bring your honest opinion. I mean, if you like it, just say you like it. That's cool. That's totally cool. But I'm just curious because I have been hearing, like Jeremy has too, there's people that are digging this film. And I'm looking at the rating on IMDb right now, and it's got a 6.2.
It's pretty good.
Which is interesting. And there's a lot. It is early, but there is a lot of reviews. So it's very interesting to me.
And it made $38 million this weekend, which is fucking insane.
That actually sounds about right. No, I think that's about right, man.
That's insane for that type of a horror film.
I think that is a little high. I think Annabelle's a little overachieving right now, I think.
38 million, that's insane.
Dude, all you have to do is slap on like the name Conjuring and that's like an instant 20 million right there.
Yeah.
I don't know, horror films just don't make the money like they used to. I think that's why I'm so like shocked that it made that much money.
They do all right. So quick cuts, I guess I'll start.
Yep.
Yeah, The Lift from 1983, Killer Elevator. This is I think it's a film, from the Netherlands, I believe? It's subtitled, what is Netherlands? Dutch? Is it Dutch? Doesn't matter. Anyway, this film is a killer elevator film. I don't know, man. This one just wasn't really that good. I mean, what do you expect from a killer elevator film? I will say that the lighting was really cool. There was a lot of like greens and pinks and stuff that really kind of helped the film out a bit. It's slow, long scenes of talking throughout the middle of the film. The beginning of the film starts off with a couple of party goers getting in an elevator, taking their clothes off and stuff, boobs, and like you're like, all right, yeah, and then the elevators are like killing them and shit. So you're thinking it's gonna be pretty good once the technician comes into play and he's trying to solve the like corruption of like these computer chip fucking makers. It kind of goes downhill. I give it about a 5 out of 10 on that one. And then I watched Blood Glacier from 2013, released in 2014 on video. This follows a bunch of scientists in Austria who discover a glacier that is leaking like red blood shit that, is infecting the wildlife around the area, and they're kind of mutating and becoming like killer animals and stuff. This one was all right. I was kind of expecting a bit more from it. Some really cool like gore and effects and stuff, but I found that the characters were kind of a little bit bad. Was you going to say something?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought the effects were awesome in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I enjoyed it. I've heard some good things about it. I was expecting it to be a little bit better. IFC Midnight. I was expecting, I've been getting a lot of hits with IFC Midnight lately. The Den, Almost Human, Proxy, Raise, all of those better than this. I give Blood Glacier a 6 out of 10. Then I watched Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College from 1991. This film is so fucking cheesy, dude. This is on another level of cartoon. This is like Gremlins 2 is kind of cartoony, right? This is this is like Ghoulies' answer to Gremlins.
Is this the one with Leonardo? Is that the fourth one?
Who's Leonardo?
DiCaprio? Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh, no, that's Critters, bud.
Oh, that's Critters.
Critters 3, yeah.
Oh, fuck my life.
So this one actually has Matthew Lillard in it, Lillard or whatever his name is, but I don't think he has any even like speaking lines. But he's in there, and this one opens with like Kane Hodder like falling onto like a bucket and like a little cameo by him. And these ghoulies are just straight. They talk now, and they're just bumping heads like Three Stooges. It's pretty damn cheesy and bad, but I still kind of liked it a little bit. It's like set in a college fraternity like prank war. I give it about a 5.5 out of 10.
Man, Ghoulies 3 is so fucking funny, man. That movie is so cheese bad.
It is funny, man, but it's a weird one.
I love the fact that they have the Ghoulies talk in it, though.
I was actually surprised that their voices were actually like good. Like they fit each character. Like there's the bald-headed ghoulie. They're much taller in this one too. The bald-headed ghoulie, and then like the rat one and the cat one. Yeah, I mean, I could possibly bump it up to a 6, just because it, like Moodz said, it is really funny. And the characters aren't like that bad either. Like there's like some boobs in it and stuff, and yeah, that's it for my quick cuts.
Go.
All right. So I watched a few films this week. First, I watched Peeping Tom from 1960, which is an awesome film that competed with Psycho the same year it came out. Really, really awesome film. I highly recommend it if you guys like Psycho. It definitely takes a different play on Psycho, but it shares the same kind of thing with the male gaze and things like that. So
you can recommend it all you want, but we can't get it.
Why not?
It's out of print, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's one that I really want.
And it's a fucking Criterion out of print.
Yeah, it's a Criterion.
I want a Blu-ray release from Criterion or somebody, because I've been wanting to see that film forever.
Yeah, it's a really interesting film. Really ahead of its time. I highly recommend it. I give that one an 8 out of 10. I watched Carrie in one of my classes. Carrie is classic. I kind of have a different view on it now that I've watched it again. I used to view it as Carrie as someone being who fights back towards society that has treated her shitty. But now I kind of see Carrie as a monster instead of a hero. There's all these things throughout the film that shows this, especially during the end. She's obviously the devil when she's coming out of the burning school, and it's totally obvious that that's what De Palma was and Stephen King and De Palma was trying to get across. I don't know if that's the way it goes down. I don't know if that's true. Yeah?
I mean, I've always heard Stephen King talk about Carrie as the victim.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that was De Palma's interpretation, but I don't know. I've always feel like you can, put whatever filter you want on it, but I still think Carrie is the victim.
Uh-huh. Well, and like when she looks in the mirror, she can't face herself. And that's when the mirror breaks and shatters. Like, she can't face the monster that she is, so that's what causes the mirror to break. And whenever it's not until that she starts to put on makeup and things like that she's able to face her inner demons. And
well, she's mad because she looks like shit. And that's her. Well, fuck with her.
The makeup is just her mask.
Yeah. But I love Carrie. Now that I've looked at it in this different way, I've kind of had a new appreciation of the film. Like I talked about in my top 5 biggest dickheads, John Travolta is a giant dickhead. This isn't really a quick cut. 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, a little low on that one, bud.
Yeah?
Oh, I love Carrie, dude.
It is a fantastic film. And PJ Stoles is a hottie in it. Next, of course, is Tenebrae, which I talked about. Hopefully this review goes better than my pick of the week. Tenebrae, once again, is like your typical giallo. This one follows a writer who travels to Paris, and the killer in the film is copying. This writer writes horror novels, giallo novels, and the killer is copying the kills that this writer is writing in the book. And so it's this writer trying to solve the mystery of who is the murderer. Once again, playing with female and male gender roles and things like that. Like I said, awesome soundtrack. It's probably the least of my least favorite Argento films that I've watched so far, but it's still really fantastic. Typical Argento. 7.5 out of that one. And that shall be it with my quick cuts.
Yeah. Quick cuts. I actually don't even have that many this week, to be honest. First up is The Boneyard.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys have, yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the DVD cover for this, but it's got like a mutated poodle on the cover. It's got that really cheesy cover art, but it's basically about there's like this series of murders that are happening in the city and stuff like that, and these detectives are stumped, so they call up this psychic. She's like this retired psychic or whatever. Anyways, they get led to this place called the Boneyard. It's what they call this mortuary. It's called the Boneyard. And it's like, so of course they go there like on the night shift, and the fucking lady that runs this place, her one-liners in the film are fucking so funny, man. It had me busting out like every 5 minutes. But anyways, one thing leads to another, and so it's like a bunch of little kids and stuff that got killed. Anyways, they end up getting like resurrected in this boneyard, and they turn into like these like ghouls, zombies and shit like that. And this fucking dog gets mutated. It's just batshit crazy, ridiculous fun. It's stupid, but it's a ton of fun. It's just a great. This movie has like a real fucking kind of late 80s vibe to it, but it came out in like 1990 or something, 1991 or something like that. And no, it's really fun. It's got some really interesting characters, and the special effects are fucking fantastic in it too. They do such a good job with it. I give it like a 7 out of 10. It's definitely worth the watch. I had a lot of fun with that. Next up, I watched Dustin Mills' new film called Snuff It. This is a really interestingly odd film, very unique, like all of Dustin Mills' films. This one's really fucking unique, man. It's basically about people, like human beings and puppets that live side by side in this world, like in this society. Mm-hmm. And so puppets are a thing, you know?
Yeah.
And basically it's about this one guy. He starts up like he's got this group. It's like a puppet hating group. And what he does is he like one day he actually like he'll post videos like kind of like on a YouTube thing and whatnot. And he has like a bunch of followers and he wears this mask and stuff. This one specific day he captures a puppet and basically kills it and dissects it and stuff. And he makes this video, and this one girl contacts him and she really wants to be part of, you know, what he's doing and stuff. She believes that puppets are
they like mannequins?
No, they're fucking
like
puppets.
They're like crank anchor puppets, right?
They're puppets, man. Yeah, they're puppets. So like in this world, like people have sex with puppets and stuff, and they're totally against all that. And this is kind of why I started the group. And so she teams up with this guy, and then they just start going around killing puppets and shit, and kind of doing what they need to do, right? Because they fucking hate puppets. It's a really, really odd and interesting story. It's something that you've never seen before. It's just so unique, and I had a lot of fun with this. The acting's great. Of course, there's Dustin Mills' film. Of course, there's a lot of boobs and muff in the film, of course, which is fantastic. But the acting is actually surprisingly really good in this one too. But just an overall really, really entertaining and short watch. The movie's only about an hour long, so it goes by quick, which is unfortunate. I would like to see a little more, but you know, for what it was entertaining, and I give it about an 8 out of 10. Just simply for the fact that it's such a unique idea, and he put a lot of effort into it. You can tell, like, he's making very, very low budget films, but it really works. It really works. So, really highly recommend Snuff It. Interesting idea. I also watched Below Zero. Below Zero, I believe, is from 2000. Do you guys know what year that's from? Below Zero, it's got...
Which cover? What's the cover?
That sounds like such a goddamn generic fucking title.
From 2011. Just found the title. From Below Zero from 2011. It is starring Edward Furlong and Michael Berryman.
Oh, yeah, I know. Is this the one that has Michael Berryman on the front cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Edward Furlong is your main character. He plays Jack and Frank. Basically what he is, Edward Furlong is a screenwriter. And he's been sent off by his agent to like a different town, basically because Jack's having serious writer's block and he needs to get away from the city. because he needs to produce a screenplay because his agents fucking had it with him. And, you know, basically what it comes down to, if he doesn't have the script done by the end of the week, he's getting dropped. So he takes it upon himself to, you know, head out to this place and gets picked up by this fucking, this girl named Penny, played by Kristen Booth. She plays like this hillbilly redneck type character. Anyways, he basically, you know, subjects himself to being locked inside this freezer so he has no distractions. She runs like this slaughterhouse or whatever and has got this freezer and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, he's in there writing the script. And the way the movie plays out is that when he's writing the script, that's what's playing in the film. Right. So it's about this character that is trapped in this, you know, in this cooler and stuff like that. But there's a serial killer there, and the serial killer doesn't know he's there, and blah, blah, blah. And that's the way the movie plays out. As he's writing the story, that's the film. So he's playing multiple characters like Kristen Booth is too. And Michael Berryman is the serial killer. You know, it's not a bad film until the end. The end is so fucking bad. Yeah. You're just like, cause they try to throw in this like little twist and stuff with screenplays, and like, I'm not going to give it away in case you want to watch it, but it was just like, what? Like, that's it?
That makes sense.
No, it made sense.
Yeah.
Perfect sense, but it was just so easy.
Uh-huh.
It was just so easy. I'm like, oh, come on, man. But overall, it wasn't that bad. I liked Edward Furlong in the film. He kind of plays like this. He's kind of awkward, like this awkward screenwriter and stuff, but I think he pulled it off pretty good. I didn't really believe Kristen Booth's portrayal of this like redneck fucking hillbilly woman. I just didn't buy it. I think that she's just too pretty for that, I guess. I don't know. But, you know, I'm going to give it just a 5 out of 10. You know, it was just, the ending was super disappointing. Very, very disappointing. So, yeah, which sucked. Next up, I watched the 88 Films Blu-ray release of The Toxic Avenger. I'm not going to get into the story of The Toxic Avenger. Everybody knows about it. But I'm just going to talk about the Blu-ray in general. The reason why I went with the 88 Films release instead of the Troma release in Region 1 here, I might add that the 88 Films Blu-ray is all region, so anybody can pick it up. I went with this version because it actually has the Japanese cut on it also, which is like 10 minutes longer and stuff. So it's got a bunch of different special features. The transfer is fantastic. It's finally back in its like original, you know, widescreen presentation. I think the only other version you could get of that was on Laserdisc. So, which is really cool. But yeah,
Laserdisc is hard as shit to find too.
Yeah, and it's so bizarre. It's like the only release that was in widescreen before. But yeah, it's a good release. I really enjoyed it. It's fantastic features and stuff. So, and then I also watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 40th anniversary 4K restoration. Wow, the transfer is like ridiculous.
Yeah, it looks good.
It does, man. Like, you know, the Dark Sky Films Blu-ray release that came out a couple years back.
Yeah.
That transfer was really fucking good. This one's like even better. So the movie just keeps getting better looking. It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Everybody knows about it, but I do highly recommend, you know, if you want to see the film, probably the best that's looking right now.
Did you
grab that
rate?
Release.
Are you rating these films, Toxic Avenger and Texas Chainsaw?
Well, I was just really talking about the releases themselves.
Oh.
So, but I mean, I did watch the films. Toxic Avenger, I would give a 7.5 out of 10, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre is pretty much a 10 out of 10. So
I was gonna shoot you in the face if you didn't say that.
Oh, I love it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is such a fucking good movie. But yeah, I just, wow, the transfer just fucking blew my socks off, quite literally. I popped it in. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, man? How are they doing this?
I actually want
to
have to buy this now.
There's tons of features on it too. It's just phenomenal, man.
Now you're being a bad influence that JP spends more money.
Yeah. There actually is some new features on it, but it does have all the old commentaries and stuff, but there is some new features and stuff, which is really cool. But man, transfer, holy shit.
I was avoiding like hearing anybody talk about it because I knew it would make me want to buy it. And I just was, you know, there's so much stuff to buy right now that I was just putting that one on the back burner, but like, oh man.
Yeah. And yeah, that's going to do it for what I watched this week. I watched some other, I don't think I wrote it down. I think that's why.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I think I forgot to write down because I did watch more movies than that. But
that might have been the quickest Moodz quick cuts segment ever.
Even though they're like regular reviews.
Yeah, they are. They are just especially the earlier ones was a straight up what we watched type review.
I know.
You're very plot heavy.
Yeah, sorry about that. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for quick cuts. And now we are moving on to the main review. And this is the reason why everybody joined us here on episode 27. And that is to review the 2013 release, independent release of The Battery.
I want to sleep in a house, in a bed, like a real human.
You need to wake up and realize this is how it is out here now. Nobody's gonna flip the switch back on.
This was put out by Scream Factory on DVD and Blu-ray. The DVD in Canada was released on Anchor Bay.
It's so weird.
Don't fucking understand that one bit, but yeah. And the Blu-ray was out by Scream Factory. So, JP or Jeremy, do you want to give the...
I'll give the synopsis.
Well, it's pretty simple.
Okay, good.
All right, we just basically follow these two guys as they travel through this zombie apocalypse world. We learn that the two baseball players, and it's just their quest of friendship and trying to survive in this zombie-ridden world.
Their personalities clash.
Yeah, their personalities clash.
Yeah, they're actually quite opposite. They're like two different people.
Yeah, but they're trying to get along, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Was that a good synopsis, JP?
Yeah, it is really simple. Two former baseball players traverse the IMDb has a great synopsis. Traverse the royal back roads of a post-plague New England town teeming with against the undead. And this is it was from 2012 but released in 2014 by Scream Factory. Jeremy, kick off your thoughts and opinions on the film.
It's definitely an interesting zombie film. It's one of the most interesting zombie films I've ever watched, to be completely honest. I've never seen a character-driven zombie film like this one. You really feel for these guys and how much they kind of hate each other, but they depend on each other to survive in this world that's, pretty much there's only 5 characters in this entire film.
I don't exactly think that they hate each other. I think it's just the simple fact that, they do come from the same baseball team, but they come from opposite ends of the team. They didn't really know each other. So, like how Ben even says in the film, he's like, Mickey, you're from the bullpen. Yeah. I'm a catcher. We're on opposite ends, kind of thing. So.
But I love how they still share their common love of baseball, because we see throughout the film that they still play catch and things like that.
And which is one of the coolest things about the movie. They really capture that so fucking well in that film, man. Like the scene in the apple orchard, man, is just so brilliant, and it adds so much flavor.
Yeah, there's like a camaraderie.
It is. It's such a good part in the film. I just really thought that was such a nice touch. So,
yeah, like I said, this is really such a character-driven film. There's only 5 characters in the entire film, and two of those don't even really matter that much. But yeah, I just loved watching these two guys interact and survive. And it's basically us just watching them do their daily thing, and them sleeping and eating and playing catch and things like that. I found it really intriguing and interesting that a film didn't have to focus on zombies eating and killing people. There wasn't really that many zombies even until the end of the film.
That's essentially I think is the coolest thing about The Battery, is that this movie, almost isn't even a zombie film.
Yeah.
It's almost like a coming of age between these two like mid-20s characters, They're growing with each other. At first they're very kind of not distant, but they're just kind of, they're not best friends. And, and by the end of the film, they're quite obviously, almost forced to be almost best friends a little bit, but they've come to respect and, kind of accept what they have and stuff like that. So
I love the use of the CD player as drowning out the world that's around this character, like music being such an important aspect to the scene. And I love how whenever he puts on his earphones, the audience also hears what he's saying, and the rest of the world around him drowns out, which I found really, really interesting. I really enjoyed that aspect, that when he was listening to his music, we also didn't hear anything that was going on around him. So we kind of felt like at any moment, shit could go wrong for us as well.
Well, and that brings up a good point too with the Discman. I love the fact that they show him like completely changing batteries and stuff. Like if they take the time to show that.
That first scene, the first scene in the film is a long take of him changing the batteries in the thing.
But they really capture a lot of that in the film so well. There's scenes, especially the scene where Mickey comes out with the toothbrushes and hands one to Ben. They literally show them brushing their teeth for like a minute and a half, and I really, really enjoyed that. Like it really fucking shows like it's full survival.
Yeah, I have that written down. I actually wanted to talk about that scene. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was brilliant, actually. Like,
yeah, it's a great fucking scene, and they do it over and over in the film. Though they show them eating, they show them fully eating things, and like it's not theoretically a zombie film. It's about these two characters. And one thing I really enjoyed about this movie is the fact that they really did not focus on zombies or killing zombies. Like, there's parts where obviously Ben goes a little batshit crazy, but they don't show it.
Oh wait, we're not letting JP talk.
No. I'm just trying to remember everything. Like, there's just like so much to say about this one.
Yeah. And but yeah, getting back to the whole Discman thing, the fucking soundtrack in this movie,
it's awesome.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
such a good soundtrack for an independent film. Like, it's just fucking amazing. It's really, really good.
The first thing I want to say is, just when you thought that it couldn't be done, the genre was oversaturated, and the subgenre, that is, you just thought nothing's gonna come out of this anymore. Nothing original, no new take, nothing different. This comes out of nowhere, and this is why I love horror, because this film was made for $6,000, right? Doesn't look like it, doesn't feel like it. You might say, well, nothing really happens early on. I've heard that. I've heard people say that.
Yeah,
but that's the beginning is character development.
Yeah,
they took something that limited them, and they turned it into something else. And they developed these characters so goddamn well in this film.
I think when people are saying that nothing's happened, I think they're kind of missing the entire point of the film. It's not a zombie film. It has zombies in it.
No, it's a zombie film. The best zombie films are about the characters.
Exactly. This movie is about them, and I think what people are missing is that I think they're kind of hoping for a little more blood and gore. Maybe that's what they're. But this movie completely doesn't need it.
Not at all.
And when we were like talking about like them kind of not liking each other, you still see like they obviously care for each other. Like after the main character, what are their names?
Well, one of them has a guard up, right?
When he's talking to the girl on the radio and he storms out and he's all depressed and sad, you could see him comforting him and being like, "Oh, come on." So you obviously see that these two obviously care for each other in some aspects, even though they may not like each other to a complete degree, but they still care about what happens to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mickey is an interesting character because he has issues, right? You know the scene where he goes to his old girlfriend's house? You get the sense that they weren't even a big thing. It wasn't like his love of his life or anything.
Yeah.
It was just another girl that he dated, and he's looking for something to hold on to because he almost feels like he should have something like that. You can tell that his mind is constantly working, and he's looking for some sort of humanity and society to hold on to. Meanwhile, Ben is just, getting with the program and moving on and living in this world that they are now forced to live in.
Well, I think that's what it's all about. It's all about acceptance, right? Mickey hasn't accepted what's happened, and Ben has.
Yeah, that's why he won't kill his
Ben
mom.
has moved on, and Ben understands. He's accepted what's going on, but he understands that now it's all about survival. Mickey is just not there yet.
Yeah,
that's why Ben does what he does, and Mickey's just obviously very hesitant on any type of violent activity and stuff. It's just not him, but he hasn't fully understood the situation.
He can't accept that this is life now, and this is how it's going to be. That's why he's looking for more people in another group. He just can't accept that this is how it's going to be, me and you, walking through this world together. He wants something more, and he wants it to go back to how it used to be. And it is about, you're absolutely right, it's about Mickey's character accepting it and Ben trying to help him through that. And oh my god, the scenes where they are bonding are just wow.
There's some really, really great dialogue, and Ben continuously makes really, really fucking good points. Especially, you guys can probably agree with the scene where, Mickey makes a stand and he said, "Fuck, we're staying here." He said he's tired of fucking moving along. He wants to sleep in a bed. He's tired of sleeping in the car, and he wants to sleep in a bed one night. And he makes a stand. He said, "Fucking, we're staying here." And Ben says, "Okay, I guess we're staying the night." And then all of a sudden, Mickey can't find his headphones.
Yeah.
I love that fucking scene
that
because
scene
Ben,
is brilliant.
He takes them off, and then he explains to him why he's not getting them back until the morning. And I think it's fucking brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And then what Ben does to Mickey is even more brilliant.
Yeah, and that goes back to...
He makes him get into the moment,
Yeah, that goes back to Mickey not wanting to accept things. He locks himself away in the music because that's an outlet, or an out. It's an out to not have to deal with what's going on around him, and he knows that Ben is more serious and he's gonna pay attention, and it's not fair to Ben, and Ben sees that this is a not a give-take relationship or whatever, and you can tell that he's frustrated. And all of this first big chunk of the movie that people complain about nothing happening is like so much is happening.
Yeah, that's so rich and dense. You just had to just because there's not blood and guts doesn't mean that there's not stuff to look at. I literally think we could look at scene by scene and talk about each scene for 20 minutes.
This is a film you could dissect every single scene in it. And one of even there's so many just throwaway things, like when he pulls the notepad out and he has the tally marks on there and he has how many zombies he killed. You never see that. Yeah. You never see that thing again. But it's interesting when he pulls it out.
Yeah. And he was what? Maybe like 100 to 2.
Yeah. I thought it was did he have any? Did Mickey have any?
I think he has the one.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
I think it was after. I think that I actually can't even remember now.
Now, do you guys think that Mickey changed after he killed what happened in the bedroom?
Well, that was his acceptance. That was him getting over that obstacle.
But do you think that he really accepted it? Because we really don't see him have any violent tendencies again in the rest of the film. So do you really think he got over it, or just...
I do, because it also was then you see them getting along, right? You see them friends and how it should have been the whole time. So he definitely got over something.
Well, I think at that point that he just accepts what he probably needs to do in those type of situations, Yeah. I mean, I don't think he had fully accepted the fact that, that he wants to, he doesn't want to turn into Ben completely, but he does understand that, if it comes down to it, he has to do that.
Yeah.
you know, because Ben and Mickey they're a team. They're the battery, right? So I think he understands, and Mickey doesn't want to lose Ben, like Ben doesn't want to lose Mickey. So,
and
but
also, you know, I love the whole time Mickey is looking for the other group, the orchard, and we get hints at what that is, you know, but we never officially see what it is. We never really know what's going on there.
Doesn't matter,
and you don't need to.
No, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I think if they like explained what it was, I think it would have ruined the film because it takes away from
it's probably
the relationship.
Ending of 28 Days Later, that, you know, that's probably what it is, but we don't need to see it.
No.
The music once again works, you know, so perfectly. The ending of the film, without going into spoiler territory, I absolutely loved the ending to this film.
I've never felt more claustrophobic watching a film. Like, I know Moodz said watch Crawl or Die, but this film is so claustrophobic. Like, the last 20 minutes of the film, I felt like I had to like get up and walk around because I was like so enclosed in this, you know, this close quarters with these guys, and you know the car's always moving and things like that. So I've never felt like that, and like the last time I like thought of something that I felt like that before was The Defied, which also is a very claustrophobic type of a film. But this one was just insane.
I fucking love the line where Mickey's sitting in the front seat and he turns to Ben and he goes, "It's like raining on a tin roof." And then he fucking puts his fucking headphones on. I fucking started laughing so hard.
Also,
it's such a good line.
Being in that situation would totally suck so much dick. Like, I'd rather just like kill myself than be stuck in the car like that. Like
the scene where they first meet the character who is trying to get home to his family, all the way to post credits, is absolutely perfectly executed. And I thought during that, I was like, they're going to fuck it up somehow. Like, I felt like it was going to go in a direction where I didn't want it to, and it never did. That whole stretch was just perfect for me, from them getting drunk in the car, to the amount of stuff that they were able to do in the car, right? I mean, that is what we talk about all the time when we're dealing with contained situations, is how do you make it interesting to sit in this one place with these characters? And they made it interesting, and there was even a little bit of survival talk, which I like, you know.
The water talk, I fucking, going back to the great dialogue in the film, you know, it's very simple, but it's so effective. Just the way Ben executes when he says about, you know, he asks Mickey, he's like, how much water do you think a person has to drink every day? And then Mickey's like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, just wait till we have to drink our own piss. It's like, man, it's like reality.
One of the characters, you know, exits the car, and we don't follow him, and I love that. Oh my god, that stretch of scene was like so just tense.
If you watch Ben. If you watch the character, it's so intense.
Yeah.
Because at this point, the windows are, you know, you can't see out of it, right?
Which was good. That's, once again, obviously that was a money issue, right? How do we deal with not showing the
extras?
Yeah. But I think that they worked around it so perfectly.
That's what I'm saying.
The reason why too, because I mean, Ben even says, he goes, "I am so fucking tired of seeing." Them. He's like, I can't fucking look at them anymore.
They explain it away, and it makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
And and time again in this film, it does that. These filmmakers do this stuff, and it's so impressive.
Yeah, everything really does make sense. But yeah, the fucking ending, it was so good.
Yeah, and what you were saying about the character. Because what was you saying they had before I cut you off there? About I said the character exited the car, we don't follow him. You said they had stuff taped up.
Oh yeah, with the just the way that whole scene plays out. I mean, you're watching this character in the car,
just like wait,
but it's so intense because all it is just that, that groan sound, of zombies out there. But it's basically that character kind of being so agitated by the whole situation, and they never lose focus of that. And he plays it so well. Like, he's scared to death.
And he's just trying to distract
And he's
himself.
trying to distract
He
himself.
lights up another smoke, and he's just trying to, just know, like, just wait. And we're waiting with him. We're just.
He sure smoked a lot.
Which I would be chain smoking too.
He had like a cigarette in his mouth the entire film. I found it hilarious.
And even the dialogue at the end of the film, just perfect. Oh my god! And we didn't even talk about the zombies, but slow. Like, I like
slow.
That. Even extra slow. These are like Night of the Living Dead slow, and
and they're dumb. They like don't grab them. Like when they're sitting in the car and the windows open, they could like easily like grab them, but they don't like do that. They just like touch them, and they're like, oh, I love those kind of zombies. I don't want like Dawn of the Dead remake zombies.
Actually, that reminds me of one part in the film that I laughed so hard out loud when Ben
lets zombie.
But what's that?
Yeah, that part made me laugh too.
Besides that part, that was just fucking hilarious. That
so
part,
funny.
absolutely ridiculously funny. No, but the part where Ben lets that fat zombie out of the car, and then goes into the car, and like just the way he reacts to the
smell.
Yeah.
Fuck, the way he's doing it, I fucking pissed myself, man. It was like it was actually the worst thing he'd ever smelled in his life.
Yeah.
But
he pulls it off so well.
I love how these zombies aren't that threatening, by themselves, one. But the moment when they realize, like, they're in deep shit when they're sleeping in the middle of the night, and it's perfect why they're there and stuff, like, and you see the situation, it is just terrifying. And it makes zombies scary to me. That happening where it's pure numbers and just not being able to escape from that many.
Yeah, like I said, it was so claustrophobic. Like that entire sequence that was scary to me because it's like, man, I could not imagine being in that same situation. Like, I don't understand why they didn't just do what happened at the end of the film. Why both of them didn't just do that?
Because it's just, what are the chances, right? I mean, they just didn't think that it would work. They discuss it. It's like, I know
they discussed it, but yeah.
I know. I think probably everyone thought the same thing, but it's not how it
because
plays
they
out,
obviously what happens. But
one thing I really did notice about the casting in this film, Ben and Mickey, you can tell these guys actually played baseball before, the way they're throwing balls.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they throw them far.
I mean, I've fucking played baseball my entire life, coached and everything, and these guys are throwing balls like they fucking played before. Yeah. Especially Mickey, man.
I love that aspect of it.
Like, he could throw he had a fucking arm on him. It's crazy. So I really enjoyed that. They didn't just use guys that were fucking totally just baseball literate, kind of thing.
I mean, honestly, I think that the only issue, it's a small gripe that I have with this film, is I feel like sometimes Mickey's acting wasn't as spot on as I would have liked to see.
Any specific scenes?
Any like when he gets real emotional, I feel like sometimes it sounds like he's reading lines.
Interesting.
You didn't feel that at all? I don't know if it was his voice or what.
I think there's one scene in particular I kind of thought maybe the acting was a little less than Ben's. I think Ben was pretty fucking solid throughout.
He's the director too, man.
Was he?
He's the director and the writer.
Wow.
Wow. So that guy's got you can tell he's talented, man. Because
I remember hearing that I did hear an interview with this guy, and I remember him saying that initially there was a third friend. The film was 3 friends.
Really?
Yeah, in the early stages of the script. But I think the third friend was like, possibly maybe when they talk about when they were trapped in the house, I think he was supposed to die there or something.
Oh,
okay.
But I like that too. They mentioned the whole house thing, and you're wondering what happened. Like, I like how they did that. How they just handled everything so perfect.
Oh, we had to eat a fucking dog. I was like picturing in my mind what that situation was like, and like,
I've heard from people that they kind of got fed up with Ben and Mickey's kind of bickering at each other and stuff. But it's really just Ben telling it how it is. Mickey just not getting what the entire situation that they're in, and it's just Ben telling him over and over again.
Well, Ben's holding his hand through the whole film.
Yeah, exactly, and it really in the part where he's like, we fucking ate dog food, and then I fucking killed the dog,
and then we ate the dog, and I killed the dog, and
he's really telling Mickey like, this is how it is, and this is how it's gonna be, fucking get over it kind of thing. So I really enjoy that. But, one other thing I noticed in the film that was interesting, I believe that they never refer to the zombies as zombies.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They have that big conversation about it.
Yeah, they say they're zombies, man.
Where he's like,
say it.
No.
He's like, I don't want to say it.
And then he says it. And then they're like,
they're zombies.
Like, wait, what did you just say? And he's like, oh, no, oh, man.
Yeah.
So they actually, you're right, they do too. Because I kept thinking, because they used the word, because they used the, that's right, because they used the word monsters over and over again in the film.
He doesn't want to say zombies. He's like,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I completely forgot about that scene. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the only scene that they kind of do that. So
did you guys like this one?
Oh yeah, it was fucking awesome. So good. I think this will make it into our Hall of Fame again.
This film, $6,000, dude.
Yeah, man, that's incredible. It shows you that you don't need a big budget to make.
And it shows you anytime somebody says, like, well, they only had this much. Like, no, you can do so much with nothing. You know what I mean? And these guys proved it right here. I will always watch this guy's films for the rest of his life and mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I was so impressed by this, and what a great title to pick up for Scream Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say.
It's such a great film.
It is a good film, man.
Moodz.
So
you start the ratings.
You want me to start the ratings? Like I said, man, this movie to me has all the elements of a film that the type of film that I love. I always stress that I love films with good dialogue. You could have a really good, like a decently shot film and got shit dialogue and just fucking kills the movie sometimes. This one, it has it all, man. The $6,000 budget, and they made the movie feel big. There's a lot of different areas that they shoot in and stuff, and I like that.
Beautifully shot.
Yeah.
Very beautifully shot. Great script. For the most part, really, really good acting.
Yeah, I thought the script was the best part of the entire film. I'd love to read it and look at it.
It feels like you just never leave the car, like the camera. It's just so tight in there.
Yeah, everything's done really well. I even like the simpleness of some of the scenes.
The toothbrush scene.
The toothbrush scene is brilliant. But even the scene where it's so simple, where Ben is just, he's petting the cow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
I love the apple scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, everything really, really did work for me. Fucking soundtrack was absolutely amazing. It's too bad that Mickey didn't have an iPod, but those batteries are just, probably not. Eventually,
how the fuck is he going to charge them?
Well, I mean, if you had a converter or something, you could find a car. I guess. I don't know.
I don't think that was on his mind at the time.
Probably not. But no, The Battery, great film. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. So I loved everything about it. And I think one of the best aspects of the film is that what JP mentioned earlier is that they didn't fuck the ending up.
Yeah.
It was actually good. That's another thing that just can completely destroy a film is a bad ending. And this one didn't have that.
Well, we even talked about writing an ending is the hardest part of writing a script because you don't want to fuck it up. So it's
all the unfinished scripts that I have.
Yeah,
I actually loved the ending. Loved. I don't even think it could have been ended any better.
Yeah, it was good.
Jeremy,
all right.
This is probably one of the greatest zombie films I've ever seen. I do not like zombie films, and like we said, it's not really a zombie film. It's more of a character study piece set in a zombie world. But
it's a zombie film.
All right.
Are we gonna have this debate where I'm saying it's a zombie film again?
No. But
I think it's not the focus of the film isn't zombies, right?
I think if you don't respect cinema for what it is, people often see horror films as being, always moving, adrenaline pumped type of films. And when something is thrown into a different realm, people often get very uncomfortable because they're so used to these typical conventions that they have learned to train themselves to see over time. And even with new and fresh films, we always see these typical conventions of the horror genre. And this one just totally kind of wipes that out and totally forgets that you're watching a horror film and just focuses on this development of these two characters. And it's just done so well. And it's beautifully shot. And like Moodz says, the soundtrack is awesome. And I love the way that they use it. So this film is fantastic. Highest recommendation for me. I actually give it a 10 out of 10.
Very, very, very. See, my rating I've been thinking about all week because I was just really did not know where to come in on it. I know I was coming high. I know I was coming possibly as high as possible, but I just wasn't sure. And I started thinking like, well, what would stop this film from being a 10? You know? And I would like Moodz. Can you answer that?
I fucking knew you were going to say that to me. Once again, I think I have a fear of 10s.
It is a little bit, right? That's what I kept coming back to.
I simply have a fear of 10s. It's so fucking weird. I think honestly, maybe in a couple years, I'm so like that though. I think for me, when a film gets a little older, it just kind of, it gets, I don't know, the rating gets high. I'm weird like that.
I'm like that too, where I think it's recency bias.
Mm-hmm.
Where since I seen it so fresh that I might be over, viewing it. So I always try to say like, well, would I wonder how I would feel, 5 years from now about this film. But I think I got to go 10. I really do. I think I'm going to go 10. 10 out of 10.
I wish I could actually explain why I gave it a 9.5. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like I said, there's so much brilliance in this film. Maybe ask me in a year or two and maybe it'll be a 10. It probably is that new film syndrome. I just have a hard time giving perfect ratings to. I don't really have a real valid point or excuse for giving it a 9 out of 10. But I mean, to me, that is pretty fucking high.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say that a 10 out of 10 to me is not a perfect film. I don't believe there is a perfect film. I think every film has issues.
I agree.
But a 10 out of 10 to me is just something that goes above and beyond and is just a instant classic or will be remembered as a classic or just does something so impressive that I can't deny its value in the film. I was so into this one.
You want to know the shame about it?
This is one of my favorite movie watching experiences since Let the Right One In, I think.
One of the interesting things I found about this movie is the runtime. It runs about 100 minutes.
Yeah.
And it never has like any boring moments in it. For such a low budget. It's crazy that they managed to pull off.
I was wanting more.
Yeah, that's very interesting that they had a runtime. It's pretty long, especially for an independent film. Like, really, you don't see a lot of films that long.
And the disappointing thing is, like, it's not going to get the love that it deserves because people aren't going to see it. They're probably just going to think of it as a generic zombie film until they actually pop it in and watch it. And it's not going to become what it should be if it's not for people like us telling other people about it that normally wouldn't see it.
I seen one review of this after I watched it, and it said the only good thing about this movie is the soundtrack.
Oh my god.
That was literally one of the first. I just kind of stopped reading. I was like, I can't even subject myself to this blasphemy. It was fucking bizarre, man. I mean, at least they got that part right.
Yeah, well, I know that this film wouldn't be for everybody. Somebody who doesn't appreciate cinema isn't gonna, your mainstream person who really liked Annabelle probably is not gonna get this film and not understand. They're probably gonna say nothing happened, because I heard people say that. I've heard a couple people say nothing happened. That seems to be like the biggest criticism.
It's called reading films like a book, people. It's not very hard. You just have to think about it.
I don't think I've ever really seen characters developed so well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the tagline in the film has the word survival in it. You know, it's what it's about.
Yeah.
Working together and surviving.
This is zombie films at their best. Stuff like Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead and The Battery.
Movies with lots of character developments and stuff like that. Those movies, yeah.
It was just so nice because you don't normally see that in the horror genre. It's not typically one that you see really deep and interesting character development. It's mostly about the aesthetics that make it, make horror films so special. But I love when we see, films that decide to focus on the characters and what makes them, fight for what they think is right in the world that they are living in, which is ultimately usually pretty shitty.
Well, this film is definitely in the 22 Shots Hall of Fame with a combined rating of 29.5, and you need 28 to get in. Jesus, this is probably the best film that we all three have talked about at once. So far.
This is obviously the highest rating we've given any film so far. What did The Sacrament get again? It was fucking pretty high too.
I think we all gave it 9.5.
I think I gave it a 9 for some reason. Did I give it a 9.5? No, we definitely all didn't give it 9.5s.
No, because I think I gave it. I don't know. I think we missed the cutoff. I think it was 27.5 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this one essentially is the top rated film that we've done so far. And I guess the first entry into the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very interesting.
Yep.
So yeah. Yeah.
At least it's the first official entry, because I'm still going back through to see if we rated anything that would make it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, put it this way. This is the first main review.
Yeah,
I think.
Definitely.
This is definitely the first main review. So yeah. And that is going to do it for episode 27. Jeremy?
All right. So thank you everybody for listening to our review of The Battery. I think we all enjoyed it, and we all have contributed an interesting aspect of the way that we perceive the film. So I really do hope that you guys actually check it out, because it's a truly special film, and it's one that should be checked out by people. Like I said, it's not for everyone, but if you have a love for cinema and you know what makes cinema special, with cinematography and actually reading into the film, then definitely check this one out. So, like I said, thanks everybody again for listening to the 27th episode of the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror podcast. Hopefully you download this and burn it to a CD and listen to it on your portable Walkman. If you want to follow the man himself, Moodz, Walkman, Discman, same thing. If you want to follow the man Moodz himself on his channel, you could do so at youtube.com/NESRuler. Fuck, Moodz616. If you want to follow me on my channel, I promise I don't make the same fucking mistakes as I do in the fucking what we watched and the closing statements. You can follow me on my channel at youtube.com/NESRuler22. And if you want to follow JP, aka the man who doesn't include me in the Tales from the Crypt discussion, you can follow him at youtube.com/doubleshotj. And as always, you can email us any questions you have at 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror podcast. No, 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror at gmail.com. And as always, you can follow us on Twitter at 22 Shots Podcast, and you can always listen to us at thedevilseyes.com.
And if you're going to download, please download from Podomatic. Definitely helps out.
And like I said, my deeply sincere apologies for fucking up on the outro and having a shitty main review. But I hope you guys still enjoyed the 27th episode of the 22 Shots of Moodz and Horror podcast. We shall talk to you again next week with another episode. Everybody have a good rest of their week.
Next week is our Thanksgiving special. Ooh. See you guys then.
In the middle of October.
Yeah. Peace.
Yeah, well, Hellraiser Dreader's out of print from Echo Bridge, so I guess not.
Which one was that?
Deader,
Dreader, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So my pick of the week is...
Wait, pick of the week? Oh, yeah, that's right. Shit, we're already... Oy. Okay, sorry, JP.
I guess I'll make another edit right here.
I'm tired. Sorry.
Fucking asshole.
I've been up for almost fucking 20 hours already.
All
So.
right.